What is up, everybody? It is not Wednesday, it is Thursday. We're doing a special episode today because yesterday I had the roast battles. We'll talk about a little bit of that later at some point. It is episode, 32? Dang, we are rocking and rolling. I'm really super excited today, guys. I've known this guest since he was born, and now he's an incredible artist. You have no idea at all. We've got rapper, artists, we'll get into that, but we've got Nate, aka Naekwon.
Yeah. What's good,
house.
everybody? Straight out here from the 505. Much love to the Carla V show and the whole production team.
Thank you, dude, so much. We've had, rescheduling here and there, but I appreciate you making this work, and I'm so stoked you live in Albuquerque now. We'll talk about all that and more with him after the intro. Larry, take it away. Carla's got a podcast now. She doesn't know technology. Larry's pushing buttons and recording things for you to see every week. She'll be asking guest questions. She'll be saying a lot. She'll be wondering about the world. It's time now for Carla V Thinks Out Loud. And we are back, and we are in the show. Mm-hmm. Can I call you? What do you want me to call you during this?
You can call me Naekwon, whichever.
Naekwon. I'm getting used to the Naekwon because he's all professional now. He's like I said, many memories of him as a child.
A little baby boy.
Mm-hmm. One specific, I always tell you, I went to a birthday party of yours in a park in Alamogordo.
Yeah.
And you just ran up and just started kicking me in the shins. And
really?
Then throughout the day, just kept doing that. Specifically to me, he would just run up and like kick me in the leg real fast and run away. I was like, what is happening?
I don't know.
It was fun. You were little. You were like
I was
8.
I was a chill little kid, but I was also very random. So that definitely happened.
It wasn't like mean. It was just silly. What is happening?
It was just, I would just do it.
So I know you since you were born. A little backstory here.
Let them know.
I went to high school in Alamogordo and middle school, I guess, and my sister was best friends with his aunt. Mm-hmm. And his aunt and I are still very good friends. She's like family to me. Mm-hmm. His family's like family to me. When I go to Alamogordo, I've stayed at like your grandma's house. Yeah, adore your mom and everything. So now you live up here in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And you made the switch, and I'm so happy to have you.
I know.
Yeah, you were what, 20-something now? Because we're gonna get into some cool kid questions in a while. Because I'm old. I'm like 36, and I'm like trying to keep in touch with what the young kids are up to. So I need to
get out of here.
Keep fresh.
Y'all are still young.
We are.
30-year-olds piss me off. I'm like y'all are still young. Y'all are vibrant.
30s are kind of great, actually. I'm digging it.
Yeah. I'm 22 though. That's how.
22 is nice. That's a great age. Good for you. Okay, so let's back it up. You started music or any sort of creativity when you were very young.
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, whenever I was super young, I didn't, up until I was 5, I didn't know my dad. Okay. And then I would always make stories up and different stuff, so I was always very creative. But whenever I met my dad, turns out his family had this band called Los Sherifes del Norte. Yeah,
Los Sherifes.
Norte groups. Shout out Sherifes, shout out Rudy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
they're very interesting.
Yeah.
As far as the whole culture of it, it's very interesting. There's even a documentary on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really good too.
About the music of that, yeah.
About norteño music and how what are the other ones called? Sorrendos, or what are they called?
So basically there's something that's very consistent throughout a lot of different styles of Mexican music is that there's the corrido, which is the story, the ballad about something crazy that happened, but
about women and
drugs and killing and drinking, ignorant. It's ignorant.
And that's the reason why I like it, because they're singing about killing, and I'm into death metal, so
it's really intense country, but for Mexico.
Yes, exactly. They're all talking about talking about trafficking and shit. Yeah, so not all of them. Some groups are more just dancey and poppy and shit, which is cool. And love, yeah. So yeah, but that is a very big part of it. But so essentially, I met my dad, and he started taking me to all the dances and like at the Civic Center and the Armory and shit. I know you remember.
Oh yeah, we
them
used to
places.
crash. We had so many friends in high school that were like DJs that me and
Yeah,
your
yeah,
aunt
yeah.
would crash all of. We didn't know the people getting married or getting 15 or anything.
that
We would
sounds
just show,
about
be
right.
like, we know the DJ, and we just start the dance party off. And the next day be sore.
Y'all were crazy.
We went hard.
So
Anyway, so you went to the Armory. And
yeah, so I went there and like I would hear them play this music and I was just like instantly was like, boom, like I knew it. Like that's what I wanted to do, something like that. Yeah, and then, yeah, so then I kind of started messing around with guitar. But then I started my auntie Vicky, who's Veronica's.
Shout out to Vicky.
Shout out Vicky Yoko. She started dating Dig'em Smack back in like I don't know the early 2000s, and he was a DJ.
Great DJ.
And he he's still a DJ, and he put me on to like hip hop, like the hip hop culture. So then from there I started DJing and writing and breakdancing and doing graffiti and all that. So then now as I've gotten older, like I'm kind of combining like all these different worlds. And I was in band too. Like I was in jazz band and marching band. And
what did you play in those?
I played trombone.
Trombone.
Yeah, I was low brass.
I could
Gang,
never
low
do
brass.
the mouthpieces. Like I was a woodwind instrument. I played saxophone for a long time.
So from the time that I was 5 years old, like music has always kind of been like a consistent thing. Mm-hmm. It's just something that's always been.
Yeah, and your family is all like great lovers of music, if not musicians themselves.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
Do you know how to like DJ and stuff
so
as well?
I started out DJing. That was like my main thing. I was DJing little parties and on vinyl and shit, and then I got like the controller, like the digital things, and then I was like the DJ in high school. Like that was my thing.
Snaps, you were in high school doing this?
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
like that was like my thing. Like people be like, yeah, Naekwon, come through. But then I was also dropping music on SoundCloud and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And then
Did that make you popular in school?
Yeah,
like
for
the
real.
rapper. I was gonna ask. I was like,
Yeah.
if you drop it, like, hey, I'm a rapper, to the ladies, they're like,
Nah.
oh, I'll drop my panties.
I never did. Like I never started getting women from music until like college. Mm-hmm. Actually, no, that's a lie. That's a big lie right there.
You got them early.
I got them in high school too because I was a musician. Like they love that little.
Women love musicians.
That artist, mysterious thing. So,
yeah, I think that's what it is. And then, but they often don't understand the creative brain. So then it's just like they like the outside of it, but then like when you're actually dealing with the person.
Yes, but then when they get in that shit, you listen. Yeah, you know what?
It's don't fuck around dating musicians or actors or comedians.
You gotta understand, and it's a different type of grind too. You gotta be up at night doing shit, and you're gonna be in rapper mode at shows, turning up, and girls are gonna want to take pictures with you and shit. So don't get mad.
Oh, that too. I didn't even think about that.
That's another
part,
thing.
The jealousy of.
That's always that always played a factor in my shit. They're like, oh, what the fuck, you're too friendly with these girls, and I'm like,
no, you're just trying to promote yourself, and if somebody's saying you're doing a good job, it's like, what are you gonna like ignore them, you know?
Yeah,
and you're a friendly dude anyway, like you're charismatic, and so I think they.
Yeah, consistent, telling story.
And then you're, I think these ladies, they just don't know what they're missing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's funny. So you started DJing, and then you went to NMSU, right? After high school?
After I graduated in high school, I went to NMSU, and then I went to film school out there.
That is wild.
Yeah,
and I knew you were in school for stuff like that, but I always thought it was music until not that long ago, and I realized you went to film school.
Yeah, so I was in film school with an emphasis in writing and directing. And then I tried other things like sound design and various stuff, but I ended up gravitating more towards writing.
I was going to ask, what kind of writing do you like to do? Like, is it short, scripts, funny, serious?
So I, being from like the desert in New Mexico, and like I always incorporate themes of like our culture, and also like I'm very inspired by like realism, like the Southwest realism, and talking about like what people go through out here, but also kind of giving it like a fantastical mythos with it too.
Oh, I like that.
So like for instance, like I was just writing before I came here, and I was writing about like a modern Western type of thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a short. I don't know if I'll ever get it produced, but
How long are you planning that one to be? Like you said, it's a
probably
short.
like 10 pager, 10 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so nothing crazy, but I do have like bigger projects that I eventually want to do like later on in life, but it's gonna take me a little bit just because
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need a whole thing.
I might have to hook you up with some of the comedians who have a space here and they do some filming and producing
Yeah, I'm
and
down.
stuff.
I'm down for
and
sure.
have actors and things that could help out if you need.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Sam Alvarado, shout out to him. They're doing some stuff and
Yeah.
have like a studio. I guess the studio is really nice. I haven't worked with them much, and then my other friend Jared Ostrom does a lot of sketches too. And,
Awesome, yeah.
And I'm supposed to do one with him soon.
Yeah, see, like that, like that's basically what I'm trying to do right now. Like I'm trying to get like little short films developed, and then that kind of established my tone as a writer and director, and then eventually move on to like the bigger projects that I got going on.
That's smart. Yeah,
Yeah,
put
but-
little things out first, and
Yeah, like I've been working on this TV series for a long time, but like for like a year or two. Actually, no, not that long. But yeah, and it's just like a story of like my life and principles and lessons I've learned growing up in.
Cool.
I call it the contemporary Wild West,
Contemporary Wild
the
West.
modern Badlands. You know,
It
So,
really is. That's why. Yeah, I like that idea of this
Yeah.
because it does have that feel to it.
Mhm.
It's a
Straight
different
up.
feel from the rest of the country. Dude, so how do you when you write? Is it? I'm sure they maybe taught you in school like good writing habits and things, but do you sit down and you're like, okay, today I'm gonna put aside 2 hours, or is it just like, I'm gonna go write right now?
No, so like I go through various moments where it's like, oh, I'm just recording. And then it's like, oh no, I'm just writing scripts, or oh no, I'm writing hip hop bars, or oh no, I'm just writing corridos right now. Like,
That's interesting to hear because I've talked on here about like the ebb and flow of even just with comedy writing
Yeah.
and music of sometimes I'm really about the writing and maybe not going out to mics, but then I go out with like brand new some brand
Yeah.
new stuff and I'm like excited about it, and then I'm working on that and then sometimes my brain for writing shuts off, so then I'm just reworking old stuff.
yeah,
So,
I'm still figuring that out, but like recently, I like whenever I get too burnt out with like writing songs, then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go work on writing scripts because it's gonna give me a break from that, but also kind of like work like another muscle in my brain creatively to kind of come back to it. So that way when I go back to it, like I'm like stretched out, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
that makes it. Yeah, opening that, keeping your creative brain working just
Yeah.
in a different sense to add to it later. Dude, that's rad. So you graduated from this film
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, CMI, shout out Creative Media Institute,
Yeah, what's your degree technically called? Like,
digital filmmaking.
ooh,
Yeah.
fancy. You and
Digital
Larry could get
filmmaking.
nerdy on tech together sometime.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I do have a hard time sometimes getting down like on all like the FPS F shutter this, and I'm just like that's why like I tried to do some of that stuff when I was in film school, but I'm the auteur, I'm the guy that's like telling the story and like, no, we gotta do this but this because the character feels this like
So
that's-
yeah, like directing, directing,
Yeah.
writing. I like that. And then when did rapping rapping came into the mix? When?
So I had always like tried to write songs when I was a little kid, and then I would try to write hip hop songs inevitably because it's like hip hop is always a part of my life. So whenever I started DJing, that was gonna be my thing. Like I was gonna do that, but then I kind of was playing around. Like I was playing around with this idea. Like, have you seen Avatar?
Yeah.
The Last Airbender?
Yeah.
How he's like, oh, I gotta master all 4 elements. And in hip hop, there's like DJing, breakdancing, graffiti, and rapping. Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I got all those right. But so I was like, I'm gonna be the hip hop Avatar, and I'm just gonna kill the game, and I'm gonna be the best graffiti writer and the best breakdancer. But rapping ended up kind of taking over.
You
Yeah.
breakdance though?
I can't no more. I
You
hurt my
did at
wrist.
one point. I feel like I remember you as a kid breakdancing
Yeah, I
too.
used to do all that shit.
That was right.
Yeah.
Yes, and then rapping took over the thing, and I remember being surprised. I'm like, he's a rapper, that's rad. Not
Yeah.
surprised, but I knew you were gonna be something creative.
Yeah.
And when was your first show?
Okay.
Because you're doing shows now.
Yeah, I'm doing shows. So probably when I first went out to Cruces, so now get this shit. Back like in like 2016, 17, 18 area, like that time, El Paso was like, it seemed like El Paso was gonna be like and for those that don't know, Alamogordo's right next to El Paso.
Yeah, it's like an hour and 15 maybe.
Yeah. So El Paso had this little scene going with like hip hop and like there was them fools I remember there was some fools like Tusk Airline, Evander Graham, that fool's still doing work. And then Khalid came around that time.
Oh right. Yeah.
But there was another R&B artist named Miles Angel. But get this, Miles Angel's sister and my uncle ended up getting married.
Oh,
And, like, they're still
really?
together and shit. Yeah.
What?
So my uncle was like, "Hey, my nephew does shit too," and then we sent him a song called "Masapan Trapper."
Must have been trapped.
It was,
I
yeah,
like it. That's funny.
that's some high school jams right there. But and then he liked the song, and then he's like, "All right, like I got a show, like I'll put you on." So probably about like 2017.
Dang, you were young.
Yeah, so I was
That's so
probably
awesome.
I was like 18 when I did that
That's
show
so awesome.
at the Lowbrow Palace over there in El Paso.
El Paso.
Yeah.
Is that still around?
Yeah.
I haven't gone, like, I go to El Paso all the time for family stuff because my dad's there. But I haven't gone out much there. And I know they're trying. There's always times where it's like, it's going to be a
Yeah.
thing. And then stuff shuts down. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we have nowhere to go anymore. I was like, but
It's weird, yeah. It's a
even the
weird
comedy
game.
scene is trying to get up and moving out there. Speaking of, shameless plug, I'll be there this Sunday. If you're watching from El Paso or Cruces or El Gordo, come down to Max Downtown,
Go get that.
4:30 p.m. Me and Jess Witt are going. Anyway, my first El Paso show, which will be fun. So
badass.
I will be there again. And did you stay there very long? Like you went back and forth there
well,
and
no,
Cruces?
yeah.
'Cause it's kind of like a triangle.
Yeah,
The three of them,
yeah,
Cruces, El Paso, and
It's
Alamo.
like a little trifecta thing. But the thing about Las Cruces and El Paso is that like there's like a lot of towns in between there. So like it's kind of like a collective little
Yeah, you got like Anthony and all
thing.
those.
Like I don't know how to explain it. It's not like the same thing, but like people are always like, oh, like people from Cruces are always going to El Paso. So yeah, so my freshman year in college, I was going out to like a lot of shows and battles of the bands and like different stuff. And back when like it seemed like El Paso was gonna really do something. This is all very underground though, so like, but it's still interesting because I remember back then, like, because like when Khalid came up, like there was like a shift in the air for all of us artists, like
something could happen
yeah,
because
yeah,
he made
it's
it.
like, oh
yeah,
man,
somebody made it.
he's from El Paso, and then like, and then that fool Evander started doing work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so like it was like there's like a shift in the air, like, oh, what the fuck, like we could really come up here doing this, you know what I mean? But yeah, so yeah, that was that, but it's since kind of died down, unfortunately. Yeah.
Do you feel like the scene up here is like? How do you feel so far? I mean, I'm not making
So-
you talk shit on anyone, but like,
So,
I
like-
don't know how the scene is here. I run across some other rappers.
I've done shows before up here, and they were cool. I had a really good time doing them. But like to be honest, like since I've been up here, like I've been staying with like relatives, so I've just been grinding.
And they live far away.
Yeah, and I've just been grinding, like trying to save some money, get my own apartment, which I finally got, which is coming soon.
Congrats.
Yeah, like in like 4 days.
You're like
Yeah.
a real Albuquerqueño. There we go.
Burqueño,
I don't know,
yeah.
Albuquerquean.
Albuquerquean, no.
Albuquerqueans.
Nah, that sounds so lame.
Like
Burqueño's so
Burqueño's
cool.
a better
That sounds
one.
cool. Nah, I won't claim it yet. But I was out there like staying with relatives, and then so yeah, like I haven't really been out like to any open mics or
Do stuff. Yeah.
doing anything like that just yet. But like, and I've also been more focused on like my rollouts, you know, on the internet with like all my music and shit. But I understand it, like it has to be like a whole combination of all the elements coming
Yeah, to
together.
like bring it and like work on this, bring it up. work on
Yeah.
This.
So
yeah.
after this, actually, I want to talk to you about like get a list going for like different open mics and whatnot.
I'll let you know. Yeah, I definitely want to like network with you here now that you're here. Not that I mean, comedy and music scene are pretty closely knit in the fact that like we just kind of know each other and we're
Yeah.
like the nightlife.
Yeah.
So we're always out. We always run into each other. So I ended up knowing some of them through all of that scene, which is rad. And then we have like the weed market things on Fridays. A lot of times the mariachi mota ones. I want to get you in touch with them because they're doing great. Yeah, and so you have now that you've been up here, speaking of rolling out new things, you do have a new single out.
Absolutely, yes, indeed.
It's called Rome.
It's called Rome.
Yeah.
Streaming on all platforms. Naekwon of Nazareth.
All platforms. Larry, we have his website up, right, too. And he has a website. Larry's so proud of you.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I'm just saying that because when people come on, he's like, why don't people have websites?
Yeah, I know. I own that domain. Y todo,
Yeah,
bro.
Todo. So yeah, you guys can on there. You can see all his links to Spotify, Apple, YouTube.
And I have like my artist bios and like my artist statements and all my
Yeah.
different stuff. Right now, I think what's on the screen. Like, that's the link
Where's
to.
Deezer? Oh, that's not.
Yeah, That's like it was like a platform back one time.
Yeah, go to his Spotify. It looks all profession things. Just
Oh
kidding.
yeah.
No, I've been listening to that, and then I've been listening a lot to the album that you put out last year.
Nomadic.
Nomadic.
Good
It's
times.
a good one. And I love that interlude, the Cipriano's interlude.
Cipriano's interlude.
Yeah. Were you playing at the end of that? Was that you?
Mm-hmm.
That was you?
Yeah, I was playing guitar.
Playing guitar and singing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. You have a great voice, man.
Thank you.
And-
Yeah, so yeah,
Dude,
shout
that's
out
rad.
shout out Cipriano. That's a fucking whole ballad in itself.
Cipriano is a great song. And at the very beginning, there's this beautiful like interlude of a... Who is that speaking at the
All
beginning?
right, listen. All right, so there's this guy named Cipriano Vigil, and he like has all these like he's preserved all these old school New Mexican music traditions, and like he plays like the different styles and all kinds of different shit that like he plays like styles that were brought over from the Spanish back in the day. Like
Nice.
it's
like
crazy.
that old school, like real...
Like,
I dig it.
Crazy shit. So yeah, he lives in El Rito, New Mexico, and I actually went to go jam it with him one time. I haven't.
Wait, what? That was him talking? Wait, to you?
No.
No, just as...
Yeah,
you wouldn't have met him.
It was from
Oh, okay.
it was from an interview he did. But like I thought like it was just so profound, like because he's talking about like all the traditions and carrying them on through like the younger generation, and
It's
you know.
so important. Like even my family would get together pretty often in El Paso, and at the end of the night, the uncles get out the guitars and
Yeah.
we all sing together, and we all know our harmonies that we do,
That's so
and you know,
cool.
like, it's just
That's
really
badass.
fun. Oh, it's Veronica, his Thea is on right
Oh,
now.
what up,
Love you
Auntie?
guys. She
What
says,
up, Auntie?
"Can we play a little clip of that room, just the very, very beginning?" Is that cool with you? I said, hold on, Larry. I was listening to
Yeah, go
Cipriano's
ahead,
story.
play that.
I like the beat of it a lot. You have you make those beats, or how do you get those beats?
So I've been working on production for a little bit, but all these other beats I got from producers. So
Nice. So we're gonna play a little bit of The Roam, the new one. Maybe. You had it, Larry. Just kidding. Do I have to call you Nadav now? If you watch YMH, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to do any of this, so I can't say anything. I would just write it on a piece of paper and like try to sing it and be like, the song is called Roam, and I would sing.
you would sing it.
It sounds like this. That's what I do. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll make it through the night. It's been a minute since I've seen the light. I ain't
Bass is
seen
nice.
the Lord, even out of sight. I've been in the game, I done earned stripes.
I like the lo-fi. There's a little bit of like a lo-fi. It's like different kinds of stuff mixed together.
It's a nice frequency.
You ain't no comrade, you a different tribe. You ain't no comrade, you a different tribe. And I'm posted with your shorty and she chopping us some water. She serving up that top while I'm cruising the Impala. She a gun, and I'll do this shit forever on my mom.
All right, Larry, we'll leave the end to let them listen to later. That's your teaser, guys.
Yeah, that's just
Get
the-
on Spotify.
Get on Spotify. Apple
Naekwon is
Music.
Nazareth. Do you go just by Naekwon or Naekwon of Nazareth?
So like I'm in the process.
Tell me about the name.
I'm in the process of changing my not changing, but just taking the of Nazareth off. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know.
What does that name for you mean, and why did you pick that? Because I couldn't imagine having to choose like a name as an artist, you know.
Yeah, so essentially, okay, I've told this story millions of times, but
I haven't heard. They haven't heard.
yeah, so like I know, but it's fun. It's just funny because like before I do it, like I'm like, all right, check it out, like you know, like
here's like you're doing a comedy. So
yeah,
you're like
I
these
have
are
a
my
bit.
bit.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was about to say like it's my bit, but anyway, so when I was little, and like I'm sure many young men from the 2000s can agree, like whenever we were little, like they would just give us like buzz cuts, like the spades, like a 0 to 1 with the little fucked up hairline. So like that was just like the standard, I guess. I don't know. And then whenever I got to high school, I was like, I'm gonna grow my hair out, and then it's really curly. It's really curly, and like I'm kind of dark. So my auntie's girlfriend at the time, she saw me. She's like, you don't even look Mexican no more. Looks like your name should be like Naekwon or something. Like she said that, and then I made it my Instagram thing. Because my Instagram handle was just Nate Monreal, and I was like, that's lame. So then I changed it to Naekwon, and then I was DJing and then still releasing music as Nate, But then like people would like people started calling me Naekwon.
Naekwon, and so it's stuck.
Yeah, so then like that became like my nickname in my whole life.
So you were just going by
I would
by
just say
Nate before?
I would just say, yeah,
Just
Nate.
Nate.
Like, yeah, I'm putting the song on. Here you go.
Mm-hmm,
Here you go. Like, you know. But I was just messing around with it at that time. But then people were like, Naekwon's song. Like, so then I was like that
Naekwon
actually.
song. I like the Naekwon.
Yeah.
And then I recognize who's commenting over here.
Yeah,
Shout out
what
to
up?
Mike, another person from what he calls the Gooch.
The
I don't know
Gooch.
why they call it. I
Me
hate
neither.
the Gooch. No
Me
offense,
neither.
Mike. I hate that they call Alamogordo the Gooch.
The Gooch.
Isn't that like the taint?
Yeah,
Yes.
isn't that the taint?
You know what it is? Actually, okay, someone explained it to me one time. They say, okay, you know what? Full circle, talking about like the triangle of Alamogordo, Crucis, and Alamo.
Oh yeah.
I guess like, I don't know. I guess they're saying.
Are we
like
the
this.
taint?
Like they're saying that like, oh, Las
that's
Cruces
funny.
is, and I could be wrong, but someone told me this. Oh, Las Cruces is the asshole, and like El Paso's the vagina, and then this is the gooch. Like that's what I heard. Like that's what they told me.
He said the Gooch.
Is that true? Yo, let me know if that's true or not.
You guys did a show in Española recently.
Yeah, we
and
did.
I recognize says, hey, that man killed it on stage in Española.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate
Dude, that's
you. homie.
rad. It's still surreal to me right now that I'm doing comedy, doing podcasts, but
Yeah.
now able to link up with friends that I've known for so long that are
Yeah.
also doing creative stuff. Where I'm like, hey, look at you, we're both.
Yeah, that's
what's
crazy.
up?
I didn't even know
and
that.
like you guys are, I've known Mike since we were 14. We'll
Yeah.
have to have him on sometime. He's works so much and he has too many kids. Just kidding. He only has 2.
Yeah, hella kids, yeah, man. No, I'm
Too
just
many
kidding.
kids to take care of,
Yeah,
those
no.
kids from Alamogordo couldn't leave without 5 babies.
Yeah, so. Yeah, so.
I made it out without a kid or an abortion. Just kidding. TMI.
Fuck. I love Alamo culture. I love Alamo.
Alamo's wild.
It's a weird little
It's
town.
a weird place.
I
And
don't
we
know how
both
to
went to
explain
high
it.
school there where I honestly would have given up. Like, just like I grew up in national parks, but I'm glad I went to high school in an actual, like, town, even though it's like
Yeah.
a tiny town.
Yeah.
And we had the full, because our high school is huge. They
Mm-hmm.
should split it up, but they keep it as one to do the, like, D1 school, like,
Yeah,
sports.
yeah.
So we had, like, 2,500 kids in our, like, whole school,
That's
which is a
crazy.
lot for, like, a small town. And then we had the real high school experience, at least I did, where it's like, you had the house parties and the this, and people are racing
See-
down white
See,
sands.
we used to do that same shit, but like, once when the class before me, once they left, then it kind of started being lame. Yeah, like, but
you guys are the lame
we were
ones.
like the last ones. Like, I feel like, I mean, we all say that, like, oh, my class was
Yeah.
the last. We were the last.
I didn't really like my class.
Really?
I hung out with the olders and the youngers.
Yeah, no, Alamogordo.
It was
It's cool. Like, I like to go back, and like I definitely like the small town feel.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't really. I mean, it's true. I can't really like, and you know it too. Like, we can't facilitate these careers
in there, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What are you
for
gonna-
sure.
Like, the fuck. Like,
You have to, Alamogordo is so tiny. Last time I was there, I stayed at your grandma's house, and that was nice. She had like 10
see what I-
Christmas trees
see
up.
what I mean?
But it's nice to go, and like I don't have family there anymore, but I have friends there that are like family. Like my friend Mario's family is still there, the Montoyas. I don't know if you know them, but yeah, you're welcome for the best high school times ever. Yeah, Vern and my sister are the reason I started driving at 13, because they were a little
She was
older.
crazy.
And they would take me to parties so that they could have a later curfew because I was responsible. And then I would have to drive their cars home because they were too drunk and drive like all their friends home.
Yeah.
13, just driving around the whole city.
Dude, did you hear about the 13-year-old kid that crashed into those New Mexico golf people?
What?
It was a 13-year-old kid that smashed into him.
In a
That's
golf?
crazy.
Like golfers?
Yeah, you didn't hear about the
That's
New
crazy.
Mexico at
Here?
the college?
What's going on
Yeah.
in this world?
There's a
Stroke.
13-year-old kid that hit him head on in Texas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
God, that sucks.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That
That's
sucks.
Yeah, don't drive if you're 13.
The coach and like 6 other ones, like 6 of the players.
Just got. Oh my gosh, that's scary. Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
I was a responsible 13-year-old driver though. Okay, guys.
Don't you like it when I bring up fun facts?
I like fun facts because then I generally go but look them up later and like read more. Like this idiot.
It's all over the news, dude. It's like everywhere.
This last week have been very disconnected. I was like in El Paso for like 4 days with family. I wasn't like
That
on my
sounds like
phone.
shit.
And then you sound fuzzy. But yeah, now I'm back in the world. Show April 2nd in Tularosa. Are you on that one?
No.
No, but yeah, Eric and I had Tularosa for all the Gooch people out
For all
there.
the Gooches.
Because Tularosa is very close to.
Thule. Shout out Thule. Shout out the community. All the homies.
So were you like like they say hoochie? Were you a Gucci?
A Gucci? Oh, that's
Gucci?
funny.
No.
I'm a Gucci.
No.
I'm a Gucci.
No.
Grew up in Alamogordo. What it do?
Gucci. Oh my God. Okay, look, man. Like that. There's like there's like a certain generation that says Gooch. You know what I mean?
It's the
Yeah.
It's like 15 years older than you.
Yeah, like it's like that middle ground.
The oldies.
You know what I mean?
Did you ever go to Juarez when you lived there, or was that too
Bruh.
dangerous by that point?
Bruh. All right.
Your Tia Vicky used to always say, "You're gonna come back with your head."
Check this shit out. So like, I used to go when I was little with my dad, but like that was whenever it was like bad. My mom didn't know, but my dad would take me to Wattis, and like that was when they were like burning the clubs down and leaving the heads on the fucking streets and shit, and doing all that crazy shit. So
it was wild.
the good old days.
That started happening like right after I think that I left.
Yeah.
All of that, because you couldn't do that. Like you couldn't do what we did at 17. Because you could drink down there at 18, and even sometimes at 17, people would sneak into Mexico.
Yeah, so at that time, I was like a little kid, so I didn't really get to do all that. But when I was a freshman in college, actually, like people started going again.
Was it safe enough at that time?
Yeah, because things were dying down.
They rebuilt
like,
the tequila derbies.
No, they didn't. But if I remember correctly, like I think it was, I don't know. I don't want to get all in cartel politics, but like I think it was like the Juarez cartel that like was that was kind of like not as active or whatever. I don't know. But then so that's when we started going back, and I went one time to go drink. But you know,
Was it wild or just chill?
no, it was chill because we're all like on watch, you know. But then and then that was the one time I went. But then like a few months after that, it started getting bad again. So like we kind of just
better just stay away. Shout out to Daniel Acuna, also from the Gooch.
yeah. What up? Double.
But he still lives there. Mike lives here, but
Double
Double
XL.
XL rapper as well in town. He might be on that Thule show as well.
Yeah, I think
don't know
I'm pretty
yet.
sure he is. Yeah, I haven't. Damn, I need to reply to Daniel. I'm fucked, dude.
I need to too. I needed to
I'm
get
sorry,
back to him
Daniel.
too.
I was
we
at
love
work.
you guys.
I was at work when I got that message, but no, I don't.
We were
think...
talking about the networking before we got on. It's
Yeah.
like,
fuck. I know. Yes.
The
I'm sorry,
online.
but I'm not gonna make it to Thule. I'll let you know if anything changes, though. Yeah.
Let him know.
But yeah, so I came up here to Albuquerque.
Like now I'm here. It was wild in Juarez. I used to dance on some countertops and
Yeah, good times.
you know, might have had a short skirt. I wasn't like hoey. I had dreadlocks at the time. I remember that.
That's wild.
Your Vern took me for the first time. Oh, Dan, we hate you too, obviously. Just kidding, I love you. But yeah, your Thea Vern, I remember it was all depressy and stressy for some reason. And she's like, Carla, get some clothes on. You're coming to Juarez with us tonight. I was like, what? And I'd never been, and I was like freshly 18. And we went, and I had the time of my life. I did come back with a fiance, though.
Did you?
Lovely. Like 2 months later, we got engaged, but we met him down there.
Lovely.
Hooked up with a couple girls down there. They were American, but you know, it was drink or drown women. They'd give you a stamp for $10, and then you could get into 2 different clubs and like drink these little coronas like all night long, drink and drown, $10.
That's
that
crazy.
was dangerous.
That's
and then
crazy
cigarettes were like
times.
$2 down there.
Crazy
I was
times.
like, let's do this.
That sounds awesome. Like my like Juarez like experiences like were fucking like very innocent. Like I would go and like we would get like like little like the monitos.
Oh yeah.
They're like this. They've been like that since like I don't know 62 whenever, and then like the masks and shit like that. So like like, that's what I think. Like when I think of Juarez, I think of like oh fuck yeah, like they had all the dope ass toys and shit and all the rings and shit. Like I used to love wrestling.
Oh, you would love my roommate. He's super into
Yeah.
wrestling, but like luchador for
luchador,
you. Okay,
yeah.
yeah, the Mexican. Oh, my sister's on now. I don't know if Sarah's on,
What up?
which is Veronica's best friend. Oh, Vicky's on. Your
up,
other
Auntie?
Thea. We got Ray on, Bubba, aka Bubs. Juarez was the shit, but I couldn't get in the cool clubs because I was looked too Mexican. Daniel.
Damn, you were too
They
Mexican.
thought you were one of them.
They were like, come get out of here, bro. Like
Oh shit, that's true. I totally forgot, Vern. We did have to buy toilet paper squares every time we went to the bathroom at the clubs. Like I can't remember how it was like a couple of quarters or something.
That's fucking
and they had to like
hilarious.
give you just like they ration out toilet paper to each person at the club, so they had like an attendant there. It And it wasn't like that fancy. I mean, the floor was sticky everywhere, but Owen Schmidt says hi. Your
what
niece.
up, Valerie? That's my
Valerie, his niece, is gonna be something.
Oh,
She's
man.
that girl is like amazing and
Yeah,
hilarious.
she's the
She'll be an
best.
entertainer, I believe.
She's the best.
We got
I
the
love her.
whole
That's my pal.
Gooch team on today.
The whole Gooch
Even
is on
though
there
they
right
all
now.
live in, like, my sisters in Georgia, they're everywhere.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is a family
A
scene.
couple of
Welcome to our
Gucci's.
family.
This is a family podcast.
This is all Gucci today.
It's all Gooch today. It's all Gooch. You know what's
That's
funny?
what it should be the name of this episode. It's all Gucci.
At my last job,
Gucci.
I was over there in Alamo, and they're all like, they were saying like someone kept saying the Gooch, and like us younger guys were like, what the fuck? Why do we say that? And then like I was all like, hey bro, like I said something to someone. I was like, you're part of that generation that said Gooch, right? And then he was like, yes, I was Generation Gooch.
Generation Gooch. It's like up here. Oh, Larry, you would have loved Waters. A lot of cute ladies. But yeah, up here they call it like Dukes.
I've been to TJ and shit.
TJ in donkey
Yeah,
shows.
back in the late 80s when they had like, well, I've seen one of those. But you have to go, like, it was down like an alley
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
this
It's all
secret
sketch.
area.
Super sketchy.
Yeah, but I left, like, as soon as she started doing things to the donkey, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't think I could
I've
stick
heard
and walk
I've heard
that.
the
watch
legends.
I'm
that.
out.
I've
Like,
heard
I
the
just wanted to
stories.
see if it was true, and guess
is
what?
true.
It is, bro.
It is very true.
It's very, very.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've heard about that. They're saying that like, I don't know. I can't.
Dude,
say
you
all
think
this.
that's bad?
Say it.
In Washington, where I lived for 16
no.
years, they
Washington.
used to have this video out called the Enumclaw sex video.
Oh wow.
And it was this farm out in Enumclaw, Washington that they had. And it was
no.
This is terrible.
it was open before the internet started, but continued on and prospered during the beginning of the internet. And you would basically, and they said that it wasn't for a place for people to come have sex with animals. It was a place for people to love animals.
To make love to them.
to
Well,
pet
not
'em.
make love. They were in love with the animals.
That's
so.
weird. Like that strange.
But
love
all
thing.
over the country. So anyway, the Enumclaw sex video is very traumatic when I seen it.
Golly.
Well, because I hung out in tattoo shops a lot in Washington, and one of the guys there, one of the tattoo artists, was like, "Hey, Larry, go back computer and type in Enumclaw sex video." And back then, if you wanted to see something crazy, you had to go to a link, to a link,
yeah,
to
yeah.
a link,
Dark
to a
webby
link.
almost. Yeah.
Not really dark webby,
But like find the
right, but it was like this whole
It was a trail.
rat race
It was
of
a trail.
trail of trying to
Yeah.
get to it. Sure enough, there it was.
That's crazy.
Dude
Dude taking a whole horse
Oh no.
up inside. And the way
Is
they
that
got
Mr.
busted,
Hands?
the way they
No.
got busted was that the guy, the horse, yeah, it was a dude. The horse
Is it dude?
bucked suddenly while the horse's penis was inside the dude. And when he bucked, it basically perforated him.
Yeah.
Punched all the way through him and shit.
Like impaled him.
Right, but he was still alive, so the dude that was his spotter, because there's a spotter obviously in this,
Oh my god.
the guy that
Safety
holds
first,
it.
guys.
Yeah, safety first. The guy that holds it and directs
Oh
it
my
and the
God.
whole 9 yards. Anyway,
Just like the gym.
just like the gym, yeah, spotter. Hey, buddy,
Good
can
for
you
them.
give me a hand?
Shout out that guy.
So anyway,
Shout out the spotter.
he takes the
crazy.
dude to the hospital, and of course there has to be an explanation on what happened. And of course, like as soon as the horse perforated him, I'm not, dude. The horse came out of the dude doing this, and stuff was shooting.
Ah.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So there was
can't.
no way of hiding it, because when they took him to the
horrified.
doctor, there was horse semen inside of him, and they obviously knew what was going on. And then further investigation found out that it was actually a farm out in Enumclaw. Look it up.
But it's still going?
That's crazy.
No, of course
Okay.
not. They
Thank God
shut
they
it down,
that
but
down. That's so gross.
Crazy
I'm sure
That's
there's,
nasty.
I'm sure
That's
there's something
terrible.
in the news about it. So
That is
That
terrible.
is
man.
nasty.
Poor guys. Well, I mean, you know what? Nah, that was his decision.
That's his decision.
He-
He knew going in, right?
It's-
You have to
it's
think
not-
at least,
about.
and by the way, the dude lived for 2 weeks and then died.
What?
Oh
the
wow!
fuck?
I was
Because
surprised he
what the
lived that long,
fuck a horse,
honestly.
bruh?
What?
Dog.
But That wasn't the Mr. Hands guy, was it? Because there's that other
I don't
guy.
know anything about Mr. Hands. All
He
I know
did
is,
a horse video,
and
but
let
then
me
he
tell
tried
you
to do
something.
another
Let me
one
tell
and
you something.
died.
It was so horrific to see because there was sound. So it was basically like the dude, that kind
Like
of
dying, sounding. Ugh.
And so that
guttural
sound,
noise.
is Larry drunk? No, Sarah, I'm not drunk, dude.
Is Larry drunk?
Larry doesn't drink, Sarah.
This man is switching up the vibe.
No, well, you brought up going to Juarez
I asked
and
him
heads
if
chopped off.
I asked
and,
him. I walked
That's
in
true.
there. I asked him if he
So-
saw a donkey show.
That's true. It did escalate. That was a.
So it's probably the worst thing I've ever seen. And I talked about it and
God.
told people about it. I was literally like had
You're
PTSD.
trying to share the trauma with people.
Sharing the trauma, yes.
Please,
Yeah, like you
please
can't
watch. So
like
I'm
you
not.
can't just hold it on to for yourself. You have to.
So for about 2 years, you could still go see it. And so I would tell people, like, do this. Type it in. Look. It's terrible.
That's craziness. What a crazy world we live
Ray
in.
said,
People be doing some crazy shit.
I know, like
man.
I worry so much about.
And did you
Little
notice
things.
And did you notice it was dudes? Like,
Oh, it's always dudes.
Dudes are gross.
It's always
Craziness.
dudes doing things stupid to their bodies or their minds or whatever. But yeah,
Craziness.
I can't. I
Nah, fuck
can't.
horses. That shit is terrible.
Just stick with people, guys. Okay.
Just stick with
Just
people.
stick with people.
It's just so
and you'll be
dangerous,
better,
man.
okay?
Like I don't know, man. That's
Have sex just with humans and of good ages too.
of good ages. Yes.
Proper ages, guys. All right. I saw. We were talking about Diggum Smock earlier. He's on here
Dig 'em
as well.
smack. What up,
He
Jeremy?
said Alamogordo is really nice. That's like the hashtag they
Yeah,
use. Really
That's his
nice.
branding. That's his positioning. I was part of that gang too. I used to hashtag that shit all the time. Alamogordo was really nice.
Y'all
It was
are
kind of a-
wild. We do get wild. I think I don't know. The only thing that really messes me up when I think about it still that I watched was the movie Tusk. Did you ever see
Oh,
that
you know
movie?
what? I've heard
The
about
Kevin
it.
Smith
the
one?
Kevin Smith movie?
I've heard
That
about
one
it.
weird. I mean, and
I
it's
haven't
like
seen it. And I
it's
love
supposed to be
horror.
like horror comedy, but dude, it's like just it was like weirder to me than even like Human Centipede. And I think maybe because it was Justin Long and I like him a lot. Like it's just as like I think he's funny and whatever. But yeah, that one I still like. Oh, I can't do this.
Yeah, there's some crazy movies out there. I do like to like. That's why I like you, man, because you are not afraid to talk about the things.
The
that
real
people,
things that are happening
that
in the
people
world.
don't talk about.
Dude.
So like, I've seen like some crazy shit on the internet. Like,
You going dark web?
no, not dark web, but just like
Dude,
some,
there's nothing crazy I have not seen. I have been on the internet since the dawn.
oh, you were in the Wild West days.
Dude,
seeing
I
all that
was in the
craziness.
internet before there was even the internet. They called them bulletin boards.
What?
You'd call a phone
crazy.
number. A landline would be plugged into a phone, into a computer. It'd make that terrible fucking sound everybody's heard modems make back in
Like
the day.
the DSL, but
Yeah.
even older than that.
And you would basically call a dude's computer, and then he would have files on there. And back then, you couldn't transfer music. What you transfer was an imitation of a song that somebody had put on a MIDI computer, like computer noises,
That's
basically like computer game noises.
like
Yeah, it was crazy, and it would take forever. Like, say if you wanted to get porn or something. Oh, dude, like a good hour
to download one
to
picture.
download one picture. Like you'd be like, oh, there's a titty.
It's all pixelated.
One.
Yeah,
You can see one.
it was
nipple.
terrible.
That's crazy. See, now, like, going back to, like, how, like, that's what's cool about now is that, like back then, like, it was hard as shit to do anything on the internet, let alone have a comedy career or music career.
Yeah,
like, now, like, I feel
yeah.
like it's crazy. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, hearing stories like that, I'm, like, grateful I have, like, the platform
You're
I have.
right. No, you're right. Because, like,
You
I mean,
know?
we were talking before, and I could complain, and be like, oh, I just want to do comedy and write the jokes and whatever. But it's actually does help further people. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it does help.
It's a grind. This life, it's still,
It's just like it's part of it. Yeah,
still,
it's a part of
it's
it.
still a grind. Like, now it's so saturated, you know? Like, it's so
Do you
saturated.
feel that way
Can you
too?
imagine how hard it is back then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do you? And maybe that's why there weren't as many people doing things like comedy or like rappy or whatever it might be. Because do you feel like the music scene's saturated right now
Fuck
as well?
yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah,
Or
dude.
do you think it's
Big
always
time.
been that way? Now people
Dude,
just have.
there's more New Mexican rap artists per capita. Like, there's probably 10 just in this
Do
neighborhood.
you think that's because now we have
Absolutely.
the internet and we know there's people out there? Or do you think there's always been that many?
So, look,
they
I'm
just
Very
No.
cheap to
now
buy
you can see
stuff.
them.
I have a whole thing about this. I'm
Yes.
gonna publish it one day. So here's what I gotta say. like right now, I feel like we're in the best and worst time for music, comedy, whatever, because there's so many people trying to do it, and like so like you don't gotta like earn your dues as much as you had to in like '05. You know what I mean?
Well, you got more people trying like weekend warrior shit.
Yeah, exactly. So like there's people who are like, yeah, I'm a rap artist because I got a USB and a laptop, which is cool. But at the same time, about it, like it's interesting that from in that same lane, there can be so many dope ass artists that didn't have it before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and then people are able to kind of like Google different influences, like so just at the drop of a second, you know. So like, it's only natural that there's like all these trash ass artists, and then there's like other artists that are like amazing. That's why I think we're in the best time, best and worst time. Like with the explosion of the internet, or the exponential growth of the internet, like two things can be true at one time.
Yes.
You know?
No, I love that. Like people always want like a right or wrong, or yes or no, or this or that, and sometimes there's a gray area and there's not an answer, and things aren't right or wrong, and they just like are the way. And two things can exist.
It's crazy.
Do you think in like the music scene too? Because like in the comedy scene, I feel like some people will just weed themselves out because they realize, yeah, no, it's not for me. I can't do this. Do you think that happens too, where it's like
for sure
you wait a couple of years and you see who's still sticking with it and who's just like, okay,
for
bye.
sure, straight the fuck up. Like,
yeah, I feel like people will just weed themselves out. Hopefully, not hopefully, but it's
I
want everybody. I think there's room for everybody to do what they want to do, and that's cool. It's in the universe. We should all have our own reality, but also, stick to your lane, people.
Yeah. See, okay, look, I'm an individual who's always like, listen, you can have, it's your God-given right to create, to express yourself. You know what I mean? But then other times, like I hear people and I'm like, bruh, like, what are we doing here?
Maybe express with a paintbrush and not your voice.
Yes. So like, and it's not even that like they're like, because you could get better. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, that's true. Yep.
You can get better, but like whenever you're just not getting better, I mean, come on, my boy, like, don't do this.
There's not getting better, and then there's also like people that I see just in general. I'm trying to think of the delusion.
Yes.
Where they don't even see their faults, and that's why they don't get better. Because they don't see that they're not doing
something right.
Yeah, and so they don't fix it, and they're not self-aware enough. I think that's a big thing. Is being self-aware.
Self-awareness is such a that's so true.
And not like getting down on ourselves, but I think some self-criticism, like criticism can be healthy, and people hear that word and it's bad, but we have critical minds, and that's what helps us get better. That's what helps us learn and strive for different things.
For sure.
So I think being a little self-critical, definitely self-aware, all of that mix.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like being able to like look in the mirror and be like, trust me, it's hard. I've been doing that recently. Like I listen to like my old shit and I'm like, bruh.
Have you ever had anybody tell you like, this is shit?
Nah.
Really?
No.
Not once.
Not once.
I think you need it. Like everybody.
No, for sure.
Everybody needs it.
No, I agree.
Everybody needs it. Everybody needs an eye opener, dude. Like, not all your shit's gonna fucking hit.
Yeah,
dude.
no,
Like
for
comedians.
For sure.
Even editing, like not everything's gonna be perfect.
I'll say this, like it was like there's been times where people are like, yeah, this ain't the one. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, then yes, but not like as a whole. Like you need to quit this career now.
Yeah.
You always got like.
They have so
absolutely got one hit that's like, or one fucking thing you've done that's like, what the fuck was I thinking, bro?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I've done
100%. Yeah. I thought you meant like in the context of like, nah, bro, this ain't never gonna work out for you. Nah, that ain't never happened. And if that does happen, fuck them. But
haters.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Like of course I've had people be like, yeah, like that was a lazy ass flow. What were you doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Who do you look to in your own life for stuff like that? Like somebody you can listen to? Because I know even with comedians, if they have criticism, some of them I'm like, and some I'm like, I'm definitely trusting what you're saying. Are there people in your life that you feel?
Dig him smack, honestly. Like I'll show him things because he's very, not just hip hop, but like all music. He can listen and be like, okay, like that's cool. But yeah, dig him smack. Probably my homie Cootie. That man will always tell it to me straight. Cootie.
Hi, Cootie.
Yeah, love you, dog. Cootie, and then my man D Swin. He'll always keep it a buck. Trazis, yeah, those guys. Actually, I have a pretty good team, man.
Dude,
I have a pretty good team. Like all my homies are fucking solid ass
good
creators.
peoples. I know Danny's out there too. Sometimes Danny's rad.
Yeah, yeah,
Dan
yeah.
Lucero,
Shout out
DJ Never Nervous.
DJ Nervous.
Shout out
the
to him
man.
as well. He's in Cruces. Earlier, Vern had said she was friends with Tom from that. I wish I was brave enough to be a comedian like Carla.
Who said
Your
that?
Thea Vicky is like hilarious.
Bro.
I keep telling her to go to
All right,
mics or
all right, I
something.
know.
Because since
She's
I was
laughing
little,
right
I mean,
now.
your whole family's funny, but like Vicky kills me, dude.
She's laughing right now. She knows. She
funny.
knows. Yeah, yeah.
She knows
you know.
what's up.
Because
We're looking at you,
because
Vicky.
I'm always telling her, I'm like, you're freaking hilarious, Vicky. Like I go over there and like just die like for hours, just kicking it, just
She makes
bullshitting.
me laugh, man.
But then like she's, you ain't doing no open mic, sister. What's up?
Yeah, come up here and visit. I'll take you out and make you get on stage. Fred Slow, shout out to Fred Slow from The Animal Sports Radio.
Yeah, don't forget to check them out on Two Men On.
Two Men On, yes, on Sports Radio. Fred Slow, where were you? He said, shoot, I'm told I'm shit like every episode. He's on the radio guys. Where were you at last night, Fred? You're usually at the Rebel stuff.
Real quick, I have something to say. And
Yes.
much respect to you.
Oh.
Because comedians like that, like for artists, like if something goes wrong, I could just hide behind a little beat and do a little dancing. You know what I
Do you
mean?
feel that way?
But for sure, but like with comedians, like y'all are up there just with a mic and your voice, like the fuck.
And I feel opposite. Where music, like I play music, but it's scarier to me to get on stage and play because I feel like if I mess up, it's very noticed. Whereas on stage, if comedy, sometimes you definitely need the right wording, but sometimes you can kind of like, okay, let me like put this back together to make it sound like it was prepared, but I like made up in the moment, kind of ad-libbed it,
you can
and
pull
bring it back,
like
whereas
you're
music, I
basing-
feel like if I just lose the beat, then you're like, fuck,
See, like, but that's for guitar. Like with rapping, like I have my backing track.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
that's why like I feel like, oh, if I mess up on a word or if like I don't breathe out the full word or whatever, finish the bar perfectly fine.
You still have like a cushion of
Yeah,
things,
yeah, and
right?
then like I just do a little thing and move over and do this. You know what I mean? Like so, like for so much respect on that. Like I've always said that like comedians y'all be killing the game.
I appreciate.
I gotta get on
that,
some bits
man.
though. I'm not gonna lie. Like
You should come out.
I want to get like something going where like, cause shout out my uncle Freddie Duran, the motherfucking man from Phoenix.
Duran.
He's hilarious. Like he plays guitar all sick and shit, and then like, but he'll like have like different jokes where it's a weird thing. And I don't think he realizes it. I don't think anybody really realizes it. It's like a different experience because like he'll be playing a song and then like say a joke like in the middle of playing that song.
Yeah,
And also like
that.
like in the middle of songs he'll like, it sounds like he like has like a bit, but he's just like that. He's just a natural like that.
Yeah.
So I definitely need to like get on that. Make people laugh at my shows.
During the while rapping, you mean?
Yeah, well, while
about
rapping
just-
and also like maybe doing a little joke here in the middle of the thing, or
It works.
But in between songs is what I'm talking about. Like I gotta get better at like.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, like
making
talking to
people
the
laugh.
crowd in the middle and keeping the energy. Yeah. and
Like I could keep the
laughing.
energy, but it's always like, yeah, motherfucker, yeah, make some noise, like rapper shit. But like I feel like that'll make my shows something different.
Yes.
You know?
No, I agree with you. Instead of just be like, yeah, we're here representing. Like,
Yeah,
you're
like, 'cause, like-
hey, I'm here to tell you a little funny thing
Yeah.
real quick, and while I get prepared for the next
Make
song.
it personable, like
Yes. It's memorable that people would remember that. I think.
yeah, and people are like laughing, like, oh, what the fuck, this guy's crazy, like yeah. So like, shout out Freddie, that's another man.
What up? I've done karaoke, and thanks to my friend Peyton Moore, he kind of told me the idea where I've gone to karaoke and chosen a song with a very long instrumental, and then I do jokes during the instrumental.
That's hilarious.
Kind of about the song, like I did like Smooth Operator by Sade, and then in the middle like talked about that song's for like fucking or breakups and like whatever.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
just kind
yeah,
of in
yeah.
that, and then went straight back into the song.
That song's when you're feeling shameful. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like just like yeah.
Smooth Operator, just like my ex. I'm a motherfucker was dating 4 other people. I'll stop bringing him up every time. I just want him to know.
I just want him to know that shit.
Oh yeah, thanks for putting.
Hey, did he
Fred
ever
Slow stuff up.
Did he ever
Was it?
get back to you? Remember you said he?
Oh yeah, my ex on my birthday, and I was like on mushrooms and things, and then he messaged and was like, "I miss you, and I want to whatever." And I was totally right because his girlfriend that he stayed with took all his pictures off her like Instagram, so I think they were breaking up, and he was just like, "Well, who can I fuck now?" And maybe
I
Carla
told
will
you.
come back.
No, I told you.
And I knew that I didn't hear back from
Oh,
him,
yeah, that's
and
the
I was
move.
down to have one
That's the
smoke
move.
with him and get over like because. They've heard on here I've attacked his garage after all this. I've never done anything like this in my life, and I was pissed. Like I spent 6 years on this man, and he was full on like trying to get other girls pregnant, dating them, like this
he was
whole
on
thing.
He was on them.
Yeah, and then he messaged
scoundrel
me, and he
activities.
was like, "I never really apologized." I was like, "Well, I'm down to like smoke once and like just
keep it pushing.
Yeah, but
and then not hang out again, just like
Yeah.
one time for my own whatever." But you know what? It's not worth it. You're right. It's
no, not that it's
What a
not
weird
worth it.
guy.
It's just you're gonna end up sleeping with it.
no, and that's another reason I want to stay away from him because he and I. That's why I stuck around so long because we had very good sexual chemistry. That's awful to say.
No, I feel it.
But you can find that again, guys. Okay.
He's definitely on that rebound shit that one
You
time.
can
for
find
sure.
that. Yeah, I think he's on the rebound right now. And then he was like trying to tell me his aunt died and this and that. I'm like, no, your girlfriend just broke up with you. I'm pretty sure
My
that's
aunt
what happened.
died.
Like, I mean, you're gonna use that move, like death in the family, cuddle me. It's like, no, dude, I don't have time for that shit. I'm seeing too many other people right now. Just kidding.
I've seen here comes. What do they? I'm not gonna say it because then here comes the whore. Like that shit. Like
no.
that little.
It's only two people.
That little clip. That little here comes the whore. Like I can't get that high, but it's
Got
dope.
it.
Like the changes in
I
that
gotta
little
look
clip
this
were
up.
fucking sick. I'll show
It's
you.
gonna be me out to do and just like, yeah,
Yes,
yeah. No, I ain't hoeing around. There's just two people I'm seeing. It's fine.
that's not bad.
So now
that's a good
two?
number. That's a good ratio.
Right?
That's a good ratio.
I don't have time for much more. What?
Now two. Now you're still dating the married dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just saw him the other. He knows. Or his wife knows. They're polyamorous. She has a
Oh,
boyfriend
nice,
and
nice.
stuff.
Good for them.
So yeah, I wouldn't. See, he's of the new generation. He understands. Larry's like
Are
perplexed
you
by
like
this
really
shit.
like? Oh, that's neat. Good job.
No, for real.
Do you like? What do you
For real.
feel about?
All right.
Don't fucking sit here and like.
I'm being dead ass with you, my boy. So essentially, like,
So you'd be totally down with your old lady.
I'm not saying that I'd be down with that. Okay, listen, man. There's benefits to this scenario,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying like I'm gonna be like 100% with it. You know what I mean? Like that there's a lot of pros and cons.
You're not.
Yeah, you have to really
Number one, you're
balance.
Hispanic.
What?
You guys get jealous really easy.
Nah. Stereotype is not the Gen
Nah,
Z, not Gen
stereotype.
Zs. He's a new generation of
Yeah.
us. Okay?
So okay, hold on. Look, here's
His
what I'm gonna
top
say.
button is not button right
Like-
now. Okay.
Yeah, I know. We progressive out here. No, I'm just kidding. We progressive out here.
I don't buy it.
Nah, no, I'm being for real, man. Like there's times where like I'm thinking like I'll like imagine myself being in a situation like that, and like I'm all like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, I get it, yeah.
So your old lady fucking other dude.
Yes, I've thought about that shit before millions
wow.
of times, and I'm like, well, fuck, like maybe like I'm okay.
I've seen
There's-
TikTok videos.
There's
Let me break it down. I've
Okay,
seen
let's hear
TikTok
it.
videos of dudes picking their chicks up the next morning, and then like a little caption, something like, "Oh, just picking up my babe from seeing her boyfriend," and I'm like, dude, there is no fucking way
not?
I'm picking her.
Maybe you're the jealous one and it's
Yeah,
not
maybe it's
Mexican.
you.
It's Larry.
Oh, I'm totally jealous. Yeah.
well, okay, because like there's times like there's I mean we're human, man. Like we're all insecure beings at times, but like if you can
Because one person is going to be getting it more than the other person.
like, see,
And I can
see
almost guarantee you 9
It's
times
not-
out of 10, the guys,
That's why you do it healthily.
the guy that lets the woman do that shit.
But it's not a
Doesn't-
competition. And if you think it's a competition, then you shouldn't be polyamorous because it's not about
Yeah.
that. It's about like letting people explore like what they need to do and
Because-
give love more because we're not supposed to be monogamous. I
yes,
think,
like
as humans.
I'm the type of person that like I understand that like I love like different people for different reasons, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like, you know, this guy is giving her something emotionally or whatever like that I can't give to her. Maybe he's like he has this aspect about him that I can't fulfill. And same thing with her. Maybe like
Wow.
maybe she doesn't like maybe she does something for me, but this other girl would do like something, you know.
I agree. No, that's a
I'm not
great way
saying
of
I'm-
breaking it down because
I'm not saying I'm gonna go be polyamorous tomorrow.
but if
I'm
you-
saying that like
yeah.
I've thought about it. Like
and hypothetically, if this did happen, like your partner, she would be just more fulfilled and happier person. So when she is with you, she's more whole and more
Yeah.
like happy and there and present and like, you know, really engaging instead of just being like, you're not fulfilling everything. It's like, no, now I can enjoy our time because as a whole, I feel happy. And
I see what you're saying, man.
I mean, I get where you come. I'm not saying
feel
it's
it.
not. I'm not saying it's like, oh, everybody should be fine with
Because
it. Because I know it's a hard, probably emotionally
So let
and
me ask you
mentally
this
to get
question.
through.
Let's say your ex-boyfriend, the guy that was
Yeah.
dating 4 other chicks, said, look, I'm going to be honest with you, dude. I want to date these other 4 chicks. You'd
I
be
told you at the beginning, I
total-
told him fine. And throughout the relationship, I was like, if you need to date other people. And when we broke up, I said,
And you
fuck
know-
you, because I said, this hurts because you had so many opportunities to tell me the truth, to have an out, to say you're dating this person, this person, and I was fine with it. And then at the end, you're like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, we could have made this work if you were just honest about shit.
And then-
That's all I want is honesty.
But there, see, with that
It's
being
not
said,
about, like-
there's also the aspect of longevity. You know, like we could do the whole traditional thing and be like, nah, man, like we're just gonna be with each other forever, and then like eventually you get. And hold on, but then eventually like you get like those parts are unfulfilled, and then you guys are at each other's throats, and you guys break up
Yep.
anyway. You know?
Resentful, yeah. So you might
know?
you might stay together longer if you have other people fulfilling your partner's needs.
But I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna
And
sit
filling
here.
them
I'm
up.
not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, babe, like I've been like that. Where I'm like, yeah, babe, that's fine, that's great. I understand you. No, like I've definitely like again, bro, I'm human. Like I've been insecure as fuck, like thinking about that shit. But
There's no insecure about it. It's just
well, I mean, that's where
that when it becomes emotional and now you're delving in
yeah.
to your lady's inner feelings, I believe that that's like,
Do you have multiple friends though that know about serious things about your life?
Yes.
yeah.
And that's emotional. So
But-
that's saying like, oh, you can only have one friend that you tell your emotions to.
But she knows way more than what they know.
So some of my friends know some things that others don't. Some know all of it. Some know more in depth.
Yeah,
So
like-
I'd say it's like that, but emotionally, but with a person. I don't know. I guess for me, I don't know. And I'm sure it's not easy for everybody. And it's not for me. And actually, my ex cheating on me, I think, made me realize, like, you know what, I would have been fine with that. And now I can think about it more in like a real way and actually like practice it and like see a couple that I respect who's doing it. And I might be doing the husband, but but I respect the way they're doing it, and it's very like progressive, new, respectful of each other. And I think that's the thing, as long as you maintain respect for everybody involved.
I mean, I get the whole idea that humans are not supposed to be like, I'm supposed to be going around fucking all you.
We're like sexually selective. We just
Yeah, like if it was back in the day, I'd be going on rape fests, you know.
yeah, you'd be just
Raping and
just
pillaging.
But nope, we live in a society.
but now we have to wear clothes and
And you were not that person anymore.
What's up?
We didn't get together until you were much older and not that person.
Yeah, I was a.
oh right.
I was a like.
Yeah, do you
had many
think
ladies.
that Patty, you guys can't hear on this one, but Patty, do you think that you would have been with Larry if you met him 10 years before you guys met?
Maybe she would have been one of them.
See, so you've been able to multiply be with,
But I
Different
didn't
person.
have like. There was no.
It wasn't a relationship.
Yeah, I wasn't living with any of them. I wasn't having
yeah.
intimate pillow talk conversations before we decided to fuck other people.
Oh my gosh, oh life.
Right? Am I right or
well,
am I
look,
right?
Here's one thing I will say about this. Like when I think back to like people that I was with, like there's things that like, again, like that I loved about this person that this other person didn't do, but that person brought something for, you know what I mean? And then when I think about that in reverse, kind of like, or like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that like it didn't take away from each thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I can totally feel that.
It
Like,
didn't take away from each
yeah.
thing. So when I think about it in that context of like, yo, like maybe like I could meet like this free spirited lady and then we just have a good time. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, on record. I'm not out here going like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm polyamorous. I'm just saying that like the concept is
Line up,
something
ladies.
that's yeah, line up for sure.
line up, ladies.
And dudes, don't forget, dudes too.
No.
They're
But-
boyfriends.
Carla's the queer one.
Queer.
So is it polyamorous? Is
No, it's just different relationships.
different
Yeah.
relationships?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No,
It can't
that's
be
not
women
that's
and
not
men.
yeah. I don't,
No, you don't subscribe to that.
No, you wouldn't be polyamorous. would
No,
you?
she's queer.
I technically, I guess, am living polyamory-ish life.
No, you're not. You're not.
That's
in a
what the married
relationship.
dude said. He was like, yeah, it's kind of because I'm involved in a relationship
You know,
that is
okay,
polyamorous.
that's true. That makes
You're
sense.
queer.
But I'm queer, but that's sexually and gender-wise. This isn't dating-wise.
God, all these.
Yo, you know what's okay? Listen,
Sorry.
All this.
You
You
had
know
a
what? This is
PSA.
just a way for
We had a
nerds to get
PSA.
laid,
PSA,
dude.
I'm not polyamorous, but
Yet.
I've definitely thought about the concepts and what that would do for me emotionally, physically, etc. But that's all I'm saying. We are part of a new generation. There is a new era that like,
All right, I have a
It's a new order, y'all.
what's up?
I have over Larry.
The new order.
If I was okay with it, would you be out with other women?
Patty asked Larry if she was okay with it, would he be out with different women?
No.
He said no.
No. Because
Good
then
for
I got to
you,
worry
Larry.
about that bitch's emotions and problems.
See,
and-
that's the thing about
that's
it.
my problem
the
with
thing
dating.
about it. Like, it's not like when you think about things.
And I don't care if you sit there and say, "Oh no, we just meet up for dates and sex." You even said yourself.
No, but I don't like to fuck just like multiple people like a lot at the
Yeah,
time,
but
because
you
then I
got
have
an
to.
emotional connection with
Yeah,
this
yeah.
married guy now.
No, but there's two of them that I do, but I like them. Whereas before, it's like I didn't want to just go.
But you're not hanging out with her. You're hanging out with him.
I hang out. I've seen her a couple times.
Yeah, but you're not.
Hold on, Larry. Where was I going? Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Where was I? Something about that. I don't know. God damn it, Larry.
Oh, I
had it.
I have one more thing
Bye,
to say.
Vicky.
Bye, Auntie.
Bye, Vicky.
That's funny. We're all
She
talking
said
about
bye.
this shit. My auntie's all in there.
like, bye.
I do have a question though, or not a question, but something to say. Like how you're saying that, like, oh, like someone's gonna be getting it more than other people. Of course,
Yeah,
the
it's true.
woman's gonna be fucking.
Not necessarily.
You don't think so?
Not
I feel like
necessarily.
women have an advantage.
We do. If
Y'all-
we want it though,
yeah,
because
if you
they
want
don't
it. Yeah.
want it. That's what I'm saying. Like I know I could go out there and fuck every
But-
guy I meet, but
Yeah.
I don't want to have to deal with the texting later and then the kissy faces and the whatever. It's like I fucked you once, move along. So I'd rather two people that I feel like
Here
friendship,
comes the-
somewhat.
Oh.
I feel like two people is fine because that's all I can handle, and then the sex gets better the longer you guys hang out. Because hook up with one drunk, hook up with one person. It's like that's not worth like the UTI or whatever I'm gonna get from their bullshit. So I just like
So you
rather
do
stick
have
to
an emotional
two,
connection
to
with
these
the married
two,
guy.
but that's what
To
I
the
mean.
married guy.
Yeah,
More
we're
than-
friends.
But you're aware, like that.
I'd say equally to both of them, probably.
No bullshit.
But
No, I
no
swear.
way.
Like he said,
Are you
I
fucking
like
her?
them.
Are you fucking
No,
her?
I'm not saying both of him. I'm saying him and the other guy I'm seeing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I feel equally kind of.
I thought you were talking about the couple.
No.
But forget it.
I'm
Okay.
not a unicorn. I mean, that's what it's called when a married couple tries to find a third lady. To,
Right,
or second
but-
lady.
Unicorn, the throuple.
The
But that's
throuple.
not. No, there's.
No, they're not.
specifications
That's not
to
what
a
they do.
unicorn, yeah.
They're not like that. It's separate.
Look
Um,
here.
But you have
All right,
emotions
all
with
right,
this
all
guy.
right. Look.
I mean, I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm in love, love you, but I am bonding with him and we're
See?
becoming closer. But I am with the other guy too, and I've known the other one for like 2 years, just as friends. But now he's single, so I'm on that shit.
That's weird. See, it's a crazy time that we can even like talk about this.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
I'm glad.
It's
and I
interesting.
like going back and forth with Larry because it's just talking about different thoughts and ideas. Like I welcome
I don't
people
belie-
having
let me
open
tell-
conversations,
let me
even
tell
if
you
they have
this.
different views.
I'm gonna tell you this to your face. I don't believe you
About what?
about that. You don't like if you don't have any little bit of jealousy.
Well,
Or,
that's a
About
part
what?
of it. No. That's
not
a part
really.
of it.
I mean,
That's a part of it, though.
if somebody's trying,
That's the
hold
turn
on.
on?
If
No,
somebody's
not the turn on.
doing
That's
it
part
ugly,
of it. That's part
What do
of
you mean
that.
part of it? Like, why would that be good?
I mean, it's not that that's not everything that
It
comes.
just-
Look, man,
you just have to
balance,
deal with that.
balance.
Like,
there's
it's just
always
like-
there's always a pro and a con in every
Yes.
situation
Fuck
that you're in.
that.
just how people
shit.
have like anxiety or depression, or
There's
but in
no-
some way it helps them, or whatever. It's just the jealousy. I mean, like you just learn to deal with it because you're a fucking adult and you rationalize that it's don't take shit personally. Don't
okay,
take shit personally. Also, even as friends from high school, they're like, Carla, why are you jealous? Like I get over shit quick.
I'm not
like,
saying jealous.
and I'm usually like, if they want to be with that person, then that's cool. Like, or I only don't like when it's like overtly tried to hurt, is disrespectful. Do you know what I mean? If it's disrespectful, that's different. If they're trying to be hurtful about
What do
things,
you mean?
then that's
Give
rude.
me an example.
Just like how my ex is, like that's disrespectful and that's hurtful. So I wasn't even jealous of the girl I met up with. I was like more hurt for her, and I felt bad that she was in the same situation as me, and I felt like upset at him more that he had done that to multiple women. I was like, oh, he's fucking other bitches. Like, no, he fucked with other women, and that's fucked up. Like, they didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve that.
But then
That's-
again, two things can be true at the same time. though.
Again, yeah, it's true.
Two things can be true at the same time. Like
I don't know, man.
there's a gray area in this lifestyle.
I would only
or in
be.
that
I don't
lifestyle.
like
It's a
I
gray
said.
area.
I couldn't be in a relationship with somebody and then fuck multiple people. I have no problem being single.
Yeah, and that's
fuck-
fine. I know nobody's,
I have no problem being single and dating multiple people.
See, that's too hard. Like being,
You know.
But see, like you could be single and you could be out there.
But be
having-
married to somebody for 10 years and then decide, hey, babe.
Well, no. Like, okay, so you could be single and dating and fucking whoever you want, but like the thing about that is that like, just for the sake of this point, that's not going nowhere. You know what I mean? But let's say like,
How do you know? She's getting an emotional connection with this guy.
I wouldn't say emotional, like I'm gonna fall in love. I just like I'm fond of him and I care about him as a person. If that makes sense.
how did you meet this guy?
He started coming out to open mics, and
Nice.
his wife was doing comedy a little bit before COVID, but I never met him then. She would come out alone, and then he started coming out alone, and then I realized that was his wife, whatever. But then he started just coming over because we do garage comedy at my house.
Nice.
And
That's
so he started
fucking
coming to that,
badass.
and then we just. It wasn't like, oh, we first saw each other and like, oh, we want to fuck. It was like over time we ended up talking more and more and being like, dude, you're really cool. You're really cool. Let's
And
like
then one thing
hang
led to
out
another.
and maybe one fuck. And then yeah, it's just been like the last month or two.
That's
and then
crazy.
the other guy broke up with somebody and she was cheating or something. I don't know the whole story, but I was honest with him. I was like, well, I want to hang out with you, but I'm also seeing this guy. But that, it's not serious because I'm not trying
And
to
is
be the
he
main.
fine with that, the other guy?
Yeah, and I'm not trying
Are you
because I'm being
sure?
honest. Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, that's because he doesn't want a full relationship right now. He's busy, and he has." So I think between the two of them, it's like a nice balance for me where I get, enough, and I don't feel overwhelmed by just like, oh no, I'm with somebody fully because I'm not fully dating either one of them. I'm just, kind of casually single.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I told them
I know
both I
what
don't
you
want
mean.
like a relationship, like a real relationship right now, but it's nice to hang out with them like once a week or.
Now, back in the day, I'm not going to say that I didn't fuck married women. Like,
See,
but that was but the thing about that is that like,
you know what I'm saying?
well, actually, I don't know.
But I wasn't in the relationship.
Larry is a homework. You were calling me a homewrecker all kinds recently, and you're the homewrecker. Just
Oh,
kidding.
I never said I wasn't a
Yo,
homewrecker.
listen. So here's okay.
You
Look,
just said I was.
I'm gonna tell y'all about the situation. Not the situation because it's just kind of there, present. But this girl that I was seeing in Las Cruces, before I came up here, she like she's like real hippie-ish and all about that. She like would give me like stones and shit, all the crystals and whatnot. She's like down with the vibes. Anyway, so like she told me that like she likes girls too. So then like one thing led to another, and we're talking about like, yo, she's like, just find us a girl already, and I'm like, okay. And then she was we have a pretty open dialogue, but she would tell me about like she would be like, yeah, like I was almost like I was almost a girlfriend for another couple.
Oh,
The throuple, or she was like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think you
Like
said
the third or something.
Yeah, the third.
Unicorn
No,
is
they call it
just
thruple.
Throuple.
throuple,
See?
but like the third, because you can date the couple, but then when it's just like fucking the couple, it's a unicorn. If it's just the fucking, then it's
Yeah,
a
so I
unicorn.
guess something like that. She like had a
Yeah.
threesome with him, and then that happened. But you see, like the thing about it though is that like we're like that concept of that gray area is like present now. You know what I mean? Versus before, it's like, all right, mijo, you're 19, go fucking marry the Diaz daughter. and
Yeah,
fucking-
it's
you know what I
different.
mean?
It was all
Like,
set up. It's like, go do this. This is how you live life. And now there is a lot of gray, which I think is why it's hard to date now for some people because they don't know where to start. But I think everybody kind of needs to make their own reality of it for themselves,
yeah,
just like
that's
life in
true.
general.
You got to figure out
And-
what works for you.
Exactly,
you know?
and fine. And I don't know if I've said this on here, but one of my things that I like lately am sticking to that I like is before I was kind of codependent thinking, do they like me? Do they like me? And we always go through the do they like me thing. And now I like to think, okay, yeah, do they like me? But do I actually like them?
Yeah.
And furthermore, do I like myself when I'm around them?
Mm-hmm.
Because some people it's like, I think I like them, but that just feel like anxious and on edge.
Women
or-
have too much self-esteem
know?
nowadays.
Fucking oh, Larry.
Wait, okay.
We are free beings.
Before I have
No ownership no
just
more.
kidding.
No
I'm
more
just-
ownership.
You
I'm
see,
just kidding.
and like that's what I'm talking about. Like that's a concept that like I like I'm aware of. You know what I mean? Like when I think about like no matter what I say or do or act or however I move, like y'all are gonna do whatever the fuck y'all want to do. And like, what am I gonna do? Fuck yeah, that's good. That's what I'm doing. Like I'm like fuck yeah, like I
You're
mean,
into the other person being happy and
yes,
being themselves.
Exactly,
Yeah.
100%. And like that's where I'm at. Because again, at the same time, like I've grown up seeing like my mom and my parents and my grandma and different shit. Not my grandma still, but
Yeah.
other people. Like
yeah, different like
where-
relationships
yeah, yeah.
where you're like, I can't.
yeah,
you
where
don't want to get
where it's
yeah.
like the traditional quote unquote Hispanic thing to do was this thing, and it's like, nah, like I've seen many examples as to why that doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like
for
that's
sure.
why like I'm trying to like navigate this new existence of like connection and shit like that.
I like that. Yeah, and it is like you said, it's depends on each person, and each two people connect differently than the
Yes,
next
exactly,
two people.
100%. Like when I think back to like this ex or this girl, like she's not the last person I was with. So why the fuck am I gonna? How am I gonna compare that? How? You know?
And I think sometimes too, I think people have to know when it's time to call it quits, because they just stick on, because people will drift and grow in different directions.
Oh yeah.
And they're maybe not the same people as when they started that relationship, and that's okay. They just need to now live life that way. You know, we're always evolving as people.
It's hard.
And if
to
you
be
evolve
like,
in the same direction, that's cool. But sometimes you got to be like, man, I love you, but this isn't
what it was.
This isn't what it was, and really what I need
Or
anymore.
it's not even.
I feel like I'm not giving you what you need.
Yes, and not even like to the point of saying like this isn't what it was, because I feel like when you say that, it comes with like a certain like
negative
stigma of like, oh, holding on to like the past thing, but it's not healthy at that point, you know. I think that's a better way to look at that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Real quick.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
I'm very happy to ask you this. I'm not happy, but all right, listen. So like you're like, yeah, I'm queer.
Yeah.
So like, listen, like when I was little, I don't know if when you were little, maybe you remember this. I don't know. But like we used to play a game called Smear the Queer.
Yeah, what was that game again? I
Where,
remember
like,
that.
I would
So
throw
somebody grab a ball and then you tackle the person that has a ball.
Yeah, and then you would throw
And you
it.
try and hit him as hard as you can and make sure you
There
injure
we
him.
go.
Yeah, so like it's saying like, oh, he has the ball, he's the queer. So like everybody would run to him and smear him, you know, like onto the carpet or the grass or whatever. Anyways,
I forgot about
so
this.
like growing up like in this new time, like I realized like people are like, oh, you can't say this because it's offensive. You can't say this because it's offensive. So like in my head, queer, like even like when we were little, just like, oh, fucking queer, like, oh, he's queer, like I don't know. But like now, like people are like, fuck yeah, like
We
I'm
took
queer.
it back.
I'm queer cis. Like
We took back the word.
You know, is
thing.
that what it is? Is it like a thing? Because like I know that like when like this is kind of unrelated, but not really. Like when Mexicans started coming from Mexico to the United States, they were like, ah, pinche Chicano, and then like then like then they took that and they're like, yeah, Chicano, like because Chicano was supposed to be a derogatory term.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
But then when they took it, and they're like, yeah, Chicano pride. So is that what that is?
I think so.
Is that what
Kind.
that
I mean, I
is?
can't speak on the whole thing. I think so. Kind of that was, and then it became just not an umbrella, but it's like the gray area for me at least.
Yeah.
Of like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
want to like decide.
Carla-
I'm a little bit of everything.
Carla doesn't like white men calling her Hispanic.
I hate the word Hispanic.
You don't?
I'm sorry. I don't like. I
I
feel like
feel
it's a
it.
white man's word.
see what
Latino
you're
is better for me. Or I mean, I'm sure there are like
If you say Latinx, dude, I'm gonna.
Latinx.
I'm gonna
I mean,
turn-
technically, I just am.
The podcast is over.
And the,
This is the last episode.
Larry just comes and kicks the mics out of my face,
He's all like, fuck you, and just leaves.
rips the headphones off.
Nope, it's wrapped up.
He just takes my guitar and
No.
like smashes
No,
it.
so like
But yeah, I think it's taking it
Like, seriously, like-
back. And I think it's one that like I used to maybe say bisexual, but it doesn't really encompass who I am. I'm not lesbian and I'm not fully straight, and so queer is kind of like a little bit everything.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know. It's like
That's cool.
I'm
That's cool.
I'm whatever. I'm
that
like,
makes a lot of sense.
and that's
you
gender.
would you date transgender?
Yeah. And I've just dated like non-binary people and trans. I've
That's
been
not
on a
the
couple
same
of
as- that's not
dates.
the
I've never
same
had
as
sex with, but I do watch a lot of
Changing
porn.
your body parts.
What? Transgender porn. I've watched.
It's hilarious to me. Not hilarious, but like I'm telling you,
Like what kind?
What do you mean? Okay.
What kind of transgender?
What kind of
porn?
categories?
Like
All of it.
what kind of categories
I don't
are you
know.
tranny
watching?
shit or
Yeah,
Sissy cuck
like
third.
trans,
Just kidding.
both directions trans, banging both genders, all genders. I don't know.
Watch all that. That's
I've,
cool.
I've looked in, even if I don't get down on it, I want to see what's out there because maybe I'm into it. But then you get scared. You're like, oh my God, I'm going to find a weird thing that I'm into, and then I can't get away
and then
from
you're
it.
stuck.
Just kidding.
And then you're in a
So far, I
dungeon.
think I'm fairly normal.
Let me
But
ask
yeah,
you
I
a
would
qu-
date trans, and I've been on a couple dates. I haven't had sex with a trans person before. Well, one that's kind of transitioning.
Do you think
maybe.
that the readiness of porn has elevated people's next level of porn? Because once you watch a certain amount
Yeah.
of porn, it gets boring, and then
Yeah.
you want to go to the next
Yeah,
level.
that's why it becomes like
the
an
next
addiction for
level.
people, just like video games and stuff. You just like the next one, the more crazier one.
Porn
and the,
addiction's a
like,
crazy thing, man. I'm
You
trying to
have
cut my
to-
shit down.
I like can't as much as I used to because I would just be
It's No,
a
that
thing.
shit, because like then it overstimulates you, and then
it's not
like when
good.
you're actually like there with the person, then like
Not unless you bring the porn
No,
in.
dude, no. Well, my ex and I would do that,
Very
and
true.
we did some Molly once or twice and watched some porn all night. But
crazy. That's wild.
but the porn thing, like I agree, it's like it
Try
overstimulates, and
meth
then
and do that.
and then you can't get pleased by the partner or like whatever because you're so into the. You know, like
Crazy
your brain
shit.
only gets excited by those images or those things that, like, in person, it fucks you up.
That's why I'm
like,
trying to. I'm
there's
definitely
studies
trying to cut
done that it like messes you up, like
No.
that it desensitizes your even erogenous joes because now your brain
with
has
the
to be
erectile
tied.
dysfunction guys, probably, but
No,
not.
it gives you like erectile.
I've never
dysfunction,
had that
maybe.
problem.
Never.
I mean, I do watch porn. There's people
I
that
watch
watch
porn
like
a lot.
20 hours a day or
Not
something.
20.
I'm
Come
talking
on.
about that level though. I'm saying that somebody sits there for 5 hours and watches porn, and even if
Okay,
they're not jacking out.
how when did you start watching porn though?
Some
That's-
people do that.
What do you mean?
Like when did you start watching porn?
Old school.
Dude, come on, man. I had to fucking, back in the day, dude.
That's
you
when
had
you had
to
to download
You
stuff.
had no,
or-
fuck all
Oh,
that.
the
You had to go and get
magazines.
magazines, dude. Your dad had the Playboys.
But
or
what about
something.
porn? Porn,
Or
like porn.
you
porn.
broke out the Good Housekeeping magazine and jacked off to those chicks. in there.
housekeeping.
Yo, so Step Brothers, remember they're like favorite non-pornographic magazine to masturbate to, and he's all like, "Good housekeeping."
Exactly.
Wait, okay, so
You had videos.
But this is before
But what
all
about
that.
internet porn?
No.
Were you right on it? Right.
Oh, dude, like I was right on it from
he
the
was
beginning.
downloading that for hours.
From dial-up, from going on bulletin boards. You could download porn from bulletin boards. People had
Okay,
it.
because I think something that is different though is that like there's kids that are like 11 years old just fucking like watching.
They
fucking-
shouldn't be watching that.
watching
that young, no.
porn like
Because
and,
it's so
and-
readily
and-
available.
and
Yeah.
exactly when it's readily available like and
But you have
and
to
you're
sit-
and when you're developing like then that's when it
Yeah, but
it
when
starts
I,
affecting
my
those
daughter,
kids.
Yeah,
my
it
daughter
fucks
is
their
online
brain.
a lot.
But yeah,
When
their
my
brains
daughter
are-
started first going on the internet, I sat her down and explained to her that you're going to see some shit that's disgusting, and these are certain sites you need to stay away from.
That's smart.
That's true.
That kind of
That's
shit.
good.
I sat her down and told her the
Parental
truth.
controls.
Get it,
Yeah,
get
and then
ahead of
also-
it instead
And
of.
then also, anything that she's on her phone gets sent to my computer through email.
Oh,
So
interesting. Okay.
Nice, that's cool.
you can't. I mean, and if I look at her phones, I check her phones, I check her computers. She has all that shit.
It's just.
Yeah, it's
No,
just
I agree with you. It's like it does.
And now
fuck with your
she's
brain before you develop.
different.
and
It's a
she's
different
not a sexual kid. She's not
Mm-hmm.
like at the level I was at
At
her
that
age.
age, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Only
'Cause-
because my parents didn't talk to me about it.
Yeah, that can also get people if you
What
don't.
we
talk
got
about
was
it.
like almost, and Jess will attest to this, almost
Except Jess would.
almost pedio style of sex education for kids back when I was growing up.
That's crazy.
Like, you know, not I never experienced this, but I'd heard of things.
They're showing you on your own body instead of.
Yeah, like the books that were
gross
out
stuff.
during the 70s and shit like that.
that's
I mean-
a whole
Naked
vibe.
books.
Not like a vibe, but like that's like a
I
whole
never got
thing.
touched.
That's a
I
whole
Other
thing.
world.
I never got touched. Nothing ever happened to me, but there's a lot of kids
Mm-hmm.
that are, you know, are my age now that were, you know.
They
And
got
Jess
taught
is-
through
that's
that.
in Jess Wood's
Yeah,
act.
they unfortunately get, and then that messes up like a lot of your relationship and sexual things in the future, like you said before. Even like with drugs and stuff, if you do them before, they say like 21,
dopamine.
24.
But
you
there
can
was
mess
a
with your
lot
brain.
of nudity with parents and children and adults and children back then.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
Just
like-
walking around naked.
That kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, oh, it's fine. It's just the human body. Adam and Eve did it.
What do you think about like no fap type of things?
What?
What do you think about? Have you heard that term, no fap?
Fap.
No fap, like no jerking off. It's supposed to like.
Oh, fuck that, dude. I don't want prostate cancer. No way, man.
You gotta release yourself
You
sometimes.
gotta get the
You gotta
old shit
drain
out,
it.
bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. See,
And what do you
Is that
want to
what
be,
you're
a
on?
premature ejaculator? Like, you got to clean the pipes before you go out on a date, bro.
okay. No, that's true. That's true. I didn't know about the prostate thing, but no,
Yeah,
it,
you
it's
get-
Good
because
for your prostate.
it's
You
'cause,
got
like,
old shit in your balls, it's going to fucking turn sour. And you're going to
Are
get the
you
prostate
no-fapping
cancer,
right
bro.
now?
That's crazy. I didn't know that. But no, I'm asking because like that's kind of like another part of this conversation. Like, because
Pretty soon I'm going to have a podcast called Larry's Sex Education.
you should
Yeah.
have diagrams and everything, just get little props and like stuff like that. No, but because like that's been a thing with my generation where it's like, oh, like if you don't jerk off, like you're gonna, it's it's gonna do something for you neurologically
I think-
and all that shit.
Oh,
You know
if
what I
you
mean?
don't jerk off, that's good for you guys.
Yes, like, and
Is
there.
that a real thing they talk about? Like,
Yes,
at
absolutely.
Your age? I've never
Fuck yeah.
heard about this.
Like what?
Like
that
for
like
young
kids
men.
his age are talking about like it's better for your brain and stuff if you don't jack off all the time. Like neurologically, you're.
And
We
it's
should.
and it's
No,
also
it's good.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's benefits to releasing that demon. You know.
So
what
I
mean?
wonder if there's benefits both way. Again, like there's a healthy balance
Two
to
things can be
everything.
true.
Yeah, where it's like you're doing it too much, you're gonna fuck your brain up. But you need to do it so you're not messing
Yes.
with that. And maybe like how they talk about the tantric sex and the whatever and withholding. Like they say, like
Edging and-
yeah, all of that. They're supposed to be whatever makes your brain. Oh, there's an episode of Seinfeld where like George doesn't have a sex scene because the lady like wants to wait or something, and then he ends up learning a lot and getting
Oh,
really
no,
smart
it was
and reading
really
a bunch of
smart.
books and all that. He was like,
Yeah.
"I'm a genius. Who knew? I just had to stop jerking off."
No,
And
yeah,
then Elaine
absolutely.
was all stupid.
That's why. No, but I was just asking you, like, because you're, you know, an older individual or older than me. You know what I mean? So like, because like there's times where like, and like that's a conversation that like some of me and my homies have where we're like, yeah, bro, like, if you don't, it's good for this reason, but you do need to release that demon every now and then. So we've come to the conclusion that like once a week. You know what I mean?
Once a week, that's it?
Yeah, like.
Are you a once a weeker? Sorry to his family was watching. I'm just
Kinda.
like,
At times, like there's times
this
where
is
like
scientific talk, guys.
there's times where like I'm really like disciplined, and then there's other times where like I'm not. Like
So is it otherwise if you didn't do that, would it be just like all the time?
no.
I mean, you're a young
No,
dude. I don't know.
No.
But I get what you're saying. I mean, even with myself, it's like sometimes it's every day a week, and sometimes I'll go like a week without like at least masturbating. Like I'll maybe, well now I'm having sex, but yeah, I don't know. And they say women though, and maybe it's both ways, that women want to masturbate more when they're having regular sex because they're
Really?
like more turned on, so they're thinking about sex more because they're having regular sex, so then they're
Is that true,
masturbating
Patty?
more when you have regular sex.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go to.
Like it's more relevant. Like it's more recent in your brain type of thing. Like that?
Yeah.
Or it's like
No,
oh,
you've got porn, dude. It's,
Yeah, I think because mentally you're like thinking sex is on the mind. Where for women they're saying, I'm not saying for guys, it's specifically
yeah.
for women
Well,
they're saying.
see, okay. Now another thing that like I've seen about like the whole no fap thing is that like it does something like when you have it inside you, like just
dude,
your
what are we
seed-
living in the fucking 40s, man? Come on.
Well, hold on.
Just jack it off, dude.
Hold on, no.
Already.
We're talking science.
So like whenever you have like your seed, I guess, built up inside you, it like gives like a certain. I don't know what the male version is of a pheromone.
Oh, so you're talking about
pheromones like
hormones
drawing people
and
in.
chicks see it and
No,
feel
it's
it?
just like how when you finally are just like, oh, I'm gonna start dating, and then everybody's like on you because you're like putting out the energy
Yeah,
of
yeah.
being open to
yeah,
people
but you
wanting
know what?
to.
Most of the guys that don't jack off a lot are the fucking creeps because once they finally meet a girl, they act like a fucking like a rapist basically because they haven't had sex for so
like
long.
incels.
Yeah, and all they're thinking about with that chick is
Incels are
sex.
crazy.
They're not fucking
Yeah, and then they get
trying to get to know her or
Oh yeah, for sure.
because I want to stick it in her as quick as possible. Well, it's because you didn't jack off, dumbass.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's another.
Less,
see, like,
less
but that,
rape,
see,
more
but
jack
that's
off, less
true.
rape.
That's true. That's true
totally
too.
true.
That's very true.
Interesting.
Like that could definitely be a situation.
Serial killers like we used to.
Oh, serial killers. Hopefully there's.
Bundy and all of
Hopefully
Serial
there's
killers
not.
gonna jack off. You don't need to
Your
just
access to
whack it.
porn.
I think they get.
Not unless you go
but I
back to the
think
kill
they're
spot
messed
and
up
you
to
jack
where like
off.
there's something wrong with their amygdala, so that they actually they can't get turned on unless it's like a murder, unless they're
Yeah,
like
or-
having sex with the body
No,
they
it's
just
mostly
killed.
like abuse towards women.
And that too, and a lot of it was like how they grew up, with like either seeing how their mom was treated, or how their mom treated them, or didn't treat them, just all of
Or
that.
teachers
focus
or
up.
crazy
Or
weird shit like that.
teachers,
That's crazy.
some nuns.
Well, teachers back
Everything
in the day,
is
not
so
much
weird to
now.
think how
Now they're fucking you.
it's weird how just as people we're very resilient, but we're also can be so sensitive and penetratable.
Fragile.
Like thinking back of like the things that affect you, it's like how did that and then some stuff that could affect you really hard, you're like, nope, I choose to not let this affect me. And
Or it
so
just
it's like
didn't affect
that.
you. Like you knew it was fucked up, but it's like
Yeah.
alright, whatever.
Yeah, you're like just
That's
why am I
crazy.
okay with
The
it?
human-
And then a little thing that one person said 20 years ago will still stick with you, and just like I'm destroyed by this.
Motherfucker,
It's
yeah.
stupid.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at you,
It's like
motherfucker. You know who you
boyfriend
are.
cheating on
A
you with 4 different
resilience.
dudes.
That's fresher. That's a year and a half ago.
I thought that was like 4 years ago.
Nah, that was like September of 2020. Oh wow. Yeah. Fuck you.
During the pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He had game during the pandemic, huh?
Well, he'd been like dating us all for like a while, and he is a drug dealer, so he was fucking all his people that he was selling weed to.
That was the attraction to it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I get free weed.
Don't bang drug dealers, but
That's-
also do,
that's
but
what
also walk their dog, and then they give you. Wait,
Drugs.
just kidding.
Then they give you drugs.
It's medicine now. Wait, are we legal? Yeah, no, we're not.
In a
Oh,
few
yeah.
weeks, right?
No, but like buying it in
April.
stores.
April.
April 18th or something.
They've already got 25
weeks,
stores that have license. And
not-
I don't
That shit's
know
gonna
how
go hard, man.
It's gonna go
I don't
quick.
know.
I can't
What's
wait.
gonna go hard is the black market.
Yeah, people, because the prices are better on the black market, but you just can now legally do it. I mean, everybody just kind of do it anyway. We had such lenient laws.
You know what? I've noticed that too. Like you're like
Well, you've been able to have 2 ounces with you at
Yeah,
all
nobody really
times, so-
cares.
No, I mean the police can't do anything.
Yeah, I smoked a blunt downtown in front of like Anodyne, and cops were like 20 feet away, and they didn't even care. I'm like,
that's crazy. What a
People
beautiful time
care
we're
here.
living in. What a beautiful time. I swear to God.
yeah, it is.
Having sex with whoever you want while you're married and
Smoking.
smoking weed.
Smoke 'em
Smoking
if
dope.
you got
and
'em.
Smoking dope.
Fuck them if you meet them, smoke them if you got them.
Hey, okay. What are your favorite podcasts?
Right now that I listen to, well, snaps. I
Like, what do you listen to? Like, I mean,
I watch Your Mom's House a lot.
yeah.
They're mostly comedy podcasts.
Get
that
up on
I
the mic,
watch.
dude.
They're mostly comedy podcasts. Your Mom's House, Two Bears, One Cave, Dr. Drew After Dark is a good one. I listen to Mark Maron, WTF. Tig Notaro and Cheryl Hines have a podcast called True Story about documentaries. That's slightly about documentaries, just them just talking. And being
Because
hilarious. That was a good one.
like for like a musician, like I'm always like, okay, these are my top 5 artists. Like, this is what I listen to. This is what influences me this way.
Yeah, what are yours? Sorry.
But
go ahead.
as a podcast, like, I don't know if people are like, oh, like, yeah, like I watch this because I like the flow of this, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, I think. And I like I guess the chemistry of some of like the hosts and things, or yeah, and depending on what mood I'm in, I'll watch, a different one. I watch like Best Friends or Bad Friends, I mean, like Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino or Whiskey Ginger.
Tiger
I'll
Belly.
do Tiger Belly sometimes. Yeah, it just depends on my mood.
That's so
I'll
cool.
jump around.
That's so cool that you can have like that, like
I just like
influence.
it's nice to watch those. And then as comedians too, I think that's why I watch a lot of comedians podcasts, because I look up to them so much that I just want to hear more about. Yeah, that's all. I think all the podcasts I watch are all comedians. I listen to This American Life sometimes on NPR, but
So my music.
what do you? Yeah,
I
what are
listen
your
to
influences? Let's get back to that.
What was that one? The Sopranos one that was out for.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched.
That was a good one.
I haven't watched the It's Always Sunny podcast yet, but I should get on that. That's what Daniel was saying. Yeah, I haven't. I keep thinking I need to start that, and they're doing video now on it.
So
anyway, so what are your like influences?
musically?
Yeah.
All right, Mac Miller. This is my top 5 of all time right here. Mac Miller, Kendrick Lamar, Cole, West Side Boogie. I don't know if you've heard of him. Yeah. So I said Kendrick, Cole, Mac, West Side Boogie, and then MF Doom. You know who that is?
Shit, rest in peace.
Rest in paradise.
Dude,
to
that was
Doom.
my Kelly Quirk, my old roommate. Shout out to them. MF Doom, that destroyed them whenever they died.
Yeah,
I was
dude,
like,
MF Doom
I'm
is so
I'm a
vast.
fan, but my old roommate was just like dressed up as him one year for Halloween,
That's
even when
dope.
we lived together
I
before he
love
died.
Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my top 5 dead and
It's
alive.
a great one.
But,
I like
like-
that. Mac Miller, I just, as of like the last 2 years, got really into because of Tyler Lovely, another comedian in town.
So look, let me tell you something. As a hip hop man, like Mac Miller, like that was one of the artists that like I listened to from the start. Like from the jump. Like was bumping his shit a long time ago, and like he was a young guy in the industry, so it's almost like you kind of grew up with him. You know. So whenever he passed, like that was like next level, like pain.
I can imagine, yeah,
Rest in
and
paradise.
especially because you grew with him. Yeah, it wasn't just like, oh, and Mac Miller died, and I kind of listened to him.
And he also like he's had such a vast like influence on me as a musician. Like I'm a very musicality based artist. You know what I mean? Like there's rappers who are just like bar for bar for bar for bar, and I just go in the studio and do this. No, like Mac Miller wasn't like that. He was like a composer in his own right.
You
like,
thought about the big picture of the song or album.
As a record, he was a recording artist versus like and like respect to the rappers that can do that are like, I'm gonna go into the studio and make 20 songs today, you know? And that's artistic in its own right, I guess, because it's so, you know, free or whatever. But like Mac Miller really sat there and was like, we're gonna do it like this, and he was just a cool spirit, man.
I remember they had that show on MTV for like a short second with him that I watched.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I was first got me knowing who he was. And I listened to some of his music, but until he died, I didn't really listen that much. And then Tyler got me into him, and I was so surprised on just the different sounds that he came from him, just the different styles. But it was all true to him. But it was like
Different sides of him.
Yeah, different sides of him.
Well, the thing about Mac is that like he was one of the few artists to actually do it. Like I guess I'm gonna say he was one of the best to ever do it, because when he first came out, he had like that frat rap college kind of but he wasn't corny, you know what I mean? Like he had like this commercial appeal to him, but then as he got older, then he kind of did like more like the rapper thing and was dropping mixtapes and shit. But then he also was like dropping like, you know, Good AM and like the Divine Feminine and Swimming and Circles. And whenever he was working on that, like he was really doing like some artist shit that's not so a lot of people don't ever get to. And it sucks because like I feel like he was barely getting started.
Yeah, he was 27 and had already done so much.
Like I think I genuinely I firmly believe that like if he didn't die, it would have been like a thing of like, oh, like, yeah, let's look at the great composers, or like some of the greatest musicians in the world. Like, let's look at like Stevie Nicks, fucking Jimi Hendrix, Mac Miller. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been Mac Miller the rapper. It would have been
He's like an artist. Yeah.
Mac Miller the recording artist, the fucking like that dude, the composer. Like, that's what I think, man.
Yeah, he had a huge vision that I think he really was good at, like getting out there. You know?
I even get like kind of emotional talking about it, just because like he was really like there through my adolescence, through my teenage years, even in like when I first became an adult, like he was there. Mac Miller, shout out, rest in paradise.
Dang,
Malcolm.
rest in peace.
So,
listen
like,
to Mac Miller if you haven't, guys. He's a
crazy.
good one.
That's crazy, man. If you haven't listened to Mac Miller, that's low.
Yeah. Don't not listen. Don't sleep on
Yo,
that.
I really like this. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. We'll probably wrap up soon. Let's see. What other questions do I have to do for you soon, though? Let's see. Okay, so you're out here. Okay, we have a lot of film stuff in Albuquerque. Is that something that you...
Yes, that's why I'm here,
Do you
actually.
act as well?
So I don't... Like, I'm not like an actor per se. I can act, but I'm not like an actor. Like, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, here's my portfolio.
You would do it, but it's not your like number one. Gotcha.
But I recently just got a call back.
Hell yeah.
From a little casting agency for like doing extra work.
Nice. Yeah.
So I actually just locked that in like yesterday.
Dang, I need to get.
So
I think I know what company. Oh my gosh, whatever. We're leaving that.
Yeah. So so that's in April. But, you know, at this point, like, I'm just kind of getting in where I fit in. You know, like, whatever I can do, like, I'm trying to get in there. Because I'm still, I haven't been on no crazy productions yet. I've just, like, produced, like, student films.
Do you feel, and then I'm sure you feel that way with, like, music, too. I'm just getting in where
I fit in, like. Well, honestly, because, like, there's so many, like, what we were talking about, like, there's so many different artists that, like, are like, yeah, I'm a rapper, no, that, like, I could tap in with, like, tomorrow, like tonight, if I wanted to. But like I'm kind of trying to be a little bit more selective with how I move and who I move with in the music industry game, because people are sketchy, people are not talented, people are not about it, you know. So like I'm very, and like I kind of move a little bit more selectively now with my music, because my time's valuable,
right?
And I don't know, like I'm done with just like getting high in a room with a bunch of dudes and being ciphering. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to like, all right, let's bust a session. Like let's go to the studio and like.
And if you don't take your time seriously and like, value it, then other people aren't gonna either, probably. So I call it
like college adventures, like, you know, being like, oh, because like when I first was out there, it's like, oh yeah, you rap, yeah, let's come on, like let's just smoke and fucking cipher, and which is cool, but like I mean.
What is that really? Yeah, you're doing something else.
Like, and like always do that, always network, always do your thing. But I guess I'm just really trying to figure out how to get to the next level. And it starts with actually getting out there, which I will now that like I'm gonna be in the city, actually in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
So
and those small changes add up to a lot.
Yeah, for reals. But with film, like, you know, I'm still And the film game's different because, like, yeah, there's people like all like indie filmmakers, but they're not like trying to. It's not like the same nature of like trying to be like, yeah, I'm a rapper, you know. No one's like, yeah, I'm a director. Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm a director. You know,
I get what you're saying.
people who are film, I feel like are more like, yeah, bro, like we're really about this shit. So like with film, like I'm definitely just gonna start hitting up all the casting calls, hitting up all the different things. I'm trying to get into grip work right now just because it's some good money in that.
Oh yeah, dude. Do you have any training in that or through school and stuff?
Yeah, through school.
So you got to learn all the different sides of like a production.
Yeah, like that's what's cool about the film program was that like you were able to really. It's like, oh, okay, like take sound one. Oh, okay, take writing one. Oh, okay, take commercial, take documentary filmmaking, take directing.
Oh, that's rad.
But I definitely wish I dialed more in on technical shit. Just because it's good to know. But, you know, my heart and my spirit tells me that, like, writing and directing is where it's at. Because, like I said, like, whenever I was trying to be, like, a sound guy, because there's good money in that. Because, for one, not a lot of people like to do it, like the boom guys.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Not a lot of people, like, really like to do it. And
tired.
It's, there's a lot of technical shit that goes into it.
You gotta pump your iron first to hold up those mics.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Dude, I'm so stoked for you.
Yeah, thank you.
I think you're really doing some shit, man. Like I said, I'm proud of you. Not just because I've known you for a while, but like you're somebody. If I heard your stuff, I'd be like, oh man, this dude is doing it. I'm not just like repping you because I'm like, oh, I know this guy.
Oh yeah, it's not like yeah.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that in this game too. There's a lot of that in this game.
And it goes that way. And like you said, I think even in comedy, it does that too, where it's like, first you're just in anywhere you can be, and then you start realizing, okay, who's taking it seriously, who's putting on a good show, who's fuck you, Kevin Kennedy, who's I will say that's the only person in the comedy scene that I will outright say fuck you, please leave our scene.
Who's that?
This guy that put us on shows at the Hopper, don't go. Fucks over comedians and then tries to fuck all the comedians. He's really creepy and then passive aggressive and text bombs people at like 5 a.m. about shit. It's wild. Like
he's just a weirdo.
Yeah,
he's just
even
a weird guy.
There was a whole thing in the like female comedy group chat too of like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Oh, he's like
He keep going to his show.
I don't know, and
He's
there's still
Weinsteining
comedians in town that like. I mean, I get in front of an audience, and I'm not talking shit on the people doing it. Get stage time, fine, but it kind of he is the cancer of the scene, and if he's out, then we have more time and more people to do better shows and another venue that we could be at that he. Yeah, he's just fucking over people, and everybody knew that he. Even people out of town that will come in and try to do like jump on even his mic. He's like super rude and weird too, and they're like, yeah, that guy Kevin. People remember his name because he's such a douchebag, like out of towner. So
that's crazy, man.
So you
that's
can go,
crazy.
bye. But yeah, you gotta start, like you said, taking yourself seriously.
One thing,
the
one
art.
thing that like I've noticed for sure is that like whenever I first went out to Las Cruces, like everybody was like, yeah, bro, we're all creatives, and like I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, like-minded people, but no one was executing shit, you know. People were just talking about it and not really rapping, and then when they would rap, it was like, bro, like you're not in the gym like that, like you know
the
what
gym,
I mean?
yeah, like we call it the open mics. The gym
yes,
kind of,
like you're not in the gym like that, like you're not really like creating like that. So like, what are we doing? Either you start creating more or like get out the way. But then like people started actually like not doing it, and like it's weird because it's like I feel like I started out with like a bunch of people, but like I'm one of like the last standing ones.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So like
dude, yep, that's what happens in the comedy game too. Is like everybody's a part, and a lot have actually kind of stuck on, but then you see the ones just like falling away. I think
disappear.
In my class of like the year I started and the time I started, I think there's only 2 of us left, me and Angel Lopez. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the rest are gone. And same with like what we call the old guard. There's only like 5 of them that like left basically.
That's crazy,
so, like
man.
who's left standing, and then from there you're like, all right, these are my family
No,
now.
it's not crazy.
It's weird,
Well,
but it's just like
It's not crazy, man. You're right.
Because if you're a comedian and you know comedy, you know that it could take 40 years
That's
before
the thing,
anybody
too,
ever
just-
fucking sees you.
I'm sure just like with rapping and music is like there's people that come into the game and they're just like, where's the money? I did 2 shows. I've been in it 3 months. I'm ready to make money. Like sign me up for everything. And you're like, dude, sometimes people don't get shit for like 9-10 years. Then you got to sit with it and grow and work at it and not expect payment or thanks like right back. I mean,
you see, like it's a double-edged sword because like there's times where I'm like, boy, you ain't about it, you suck, boy, like, you know. But then there's other times where it's like, fuck, like I'm alone. And like not that like I feel like I'm like, oh, I need someone with me, but like almost kind of like, well, damn, like we said a lot of crazy shit back in 2017. You know what I mean?
what are
Like
we
we
doing
said a
now?
lot
Yeah.
of like we like, yeah, we're gonna be selling out this, that, and the third, but it's like I'm the only one still trying to do that. You know? And
And sometimes those, I guess those, not say they're pipe dreams, but sometimes those thoughts is like it keeps people motivated, keep going to work
It's
towards.
like I'm gonna win the lottery when you buy lottery tickets.
Yeah, but unless they're actually doing the work towards it, it won't happen. And I think you're probably just the person that's continuing to do the next step that needs to be done, and they, kind of didn't see it that
and
way or
that's
feel
another
that way.
thing too, is that like people are like, oh, you're still doing music? Oh, you're still doing that? Fuck yeah, bro. Like
Yeah, hell yeah.
I've told you since I was 5 years old, like this is what it is. Like this is what it's been, and that's what it's always gonna be. Even like it's just something. It's my truth. You know what I mean? It's my truth,
It's
and
your
like
passion, man.
I can't live like something that I don't
Yes.
believe in. Like I gotta walk my line.
Yes.
Shout out Johnny Cash. One of my favorites.
Yeah, I'd rather be like, doing my truth, my passion and stuff than like miserable, being like, I guess I'm doing the right thing that I'm, living the life I'm supposed to be living, but all the while being like, I really want to do that. And I think it's the one thing that I can't not do now.
Yeah, it's like
I went to El Paso and then like came back at like 9 p.m. and like hit up Kurt Fletcher. He was like, can I still get on the mic? And I had a long weekend, but I hadn't done comedy in almost a week. So I was like, let me get on. So I got on, did 5, went home, like, just.
That's cool. That's cool. See, and that's another thing about fucking about comedians, like the whole open mic vibe, like being like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, like, and like I hear about Joe Rogan talk about it a lot, where like whenever like he's like in LA or New York, that's like, oh, there's this open mic, like, like there's like a little cool shit to me, because like whenever I'm in Dallas, anytime I'm in any city, I try to do open mics.
That's so smart. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's like how I've met people out of town, by just showing up and doing the open mics.
But like the thing about it is that it's like, okay, here's like this open mic over here, and then like I go to this one and I see the same guy, and it's like, oh fuck yeah, bro, like we're both out here, like
It's like, I see you. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I'm like, oh, you're doing it right, kid. All right, so.
We're at 2 hours.
I know. I just realized that. We're wrapping this up.
Just kidding.
Huh?
I said rambling on.
Rumble. I haven't seen him forever. We're talking. It's important shit
it's important. It is important
for artists. It's just interesting hearing like the rapper side of, or like the musician side of it, and be like, that's kind of similar to comedy.
For some reason we keep freezing up.
We are freezing while we're in, oh yeah, I see that. We are freezing.
Anyway.
Are we still freezing? Shaking up, baby, no. Am I allowed to see that? No, I'm not. Twisting shit. Do you want to play anything?
I might.
Do you want to play first before I do a wrap-up song? Let me make
Yeah,
sure it's tuned.
yeah.
So he also plays guitar, and hopefully maybe.
He's gonna play guitar now.
Yeah, I'll just turn the mic that way. I'm just making sure it's tuned. Stick with me, guys. It was tuned, and then I think it's been in his case, so it was like,
9 minutes.
huh?
9 minutes.
We got 9 minutes. Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Where's that thing go? Bear with me, Larry. It says 7:30 or 8. Thanks for people still watching at home, on your phone. I think next week we're gonna have Courtney Foster on.
Courtney Foster.
I'm
who's
hoping.
That?
She was. She's a comedian. She was. My Satanist friend.
Oh, the Satanist.
No,
Nice.
we had the roast battles last night at Revel, and she was my opponent. Guess what, guys? I beat her. No, it was fun. It was fun. I kicked some ass. Okay. Before Larry falls asleep, we're gonna play some guitar.
All right.
We're gonna lull Larry to sleep.
I got one right here.
Oh, yeah, pick.
This is his busy.
Desde morro me enseñaron a ser bien cabrón. Poco a poco fue creciendo este chavalón. Mi nombre ton param pam param param tan tan tararán tan tararán 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 tan tan. Mi hermano, que en paz descanse, siempre fue un chingón. Yo lo llevo en la mente y en el corazón. Carnal Brandon, tu atado hasta el cuello. Gracias por todos, carnales, un abrazo. puro Montreales en la sangre. Llevo yo, orgulloso de estar en la familia que estoy. Pa' mi clica un saludo, siempre me verán diferente, madre, pero aquí yo soy carnal. Los reales yo los cuento con los dedos de mis manos. Algunos son solo amigos y otros como hermanos. ¿Dónde están los que desean que nada lograré? Pues empieza desde cero para adelante todos los días.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, I take it you wrote that though.
No, I
You
didn't.
didn't?
I didn't.
I heard Los Monreales and
No,
I was like,
it's because
Monreales.
in that-
Geneva said hell yes. It's my
in,
sister.
in that song he says puro. His last name is Morales.
Oh,
So he
you
says
changed it.
puro Morales, which he's talking about being proud of his family. and shit.
Yeah, I thought you said Monreales.
No, I did say Montreal.
You changed the-
So whenever I do it, that's what I do. Yeah. Straight
Yeah,
from the
Geneva.
505. You know what it is.
We're gonna do a wrap up. We'll have to jam sometime. I'm sorry this was on. Let's see if we can find some chords. I don't know. Nope. Okay. Today we sang with Naekwon. He graced us with his guitar and singing. We rambled on and Larry almost fell asleep. Go Patty, pet his goatee, wake him up. And we've known each other his whole life. He used to kick me in the shin and now he's really extra nice. He told me about Gen Z, no fapping. He said, maybe polyamory, and I said, I'm proud of you for growing. Thanks for watching Carla V Thinks Out Loud. We'll be back next week. With my roast battle friend. Her name is Courtney Foster. She's a Satanist. It's fine, guys. Don't judge her. I love everyone equally. You should too, but please don't fuck horses. And if you do have a spotter there, have a doctor who cares. And we'll wrap this up. See you next week on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Live on everything. Carla V Thinks Out Loud and CarlaVasquezComedy.com. Don't think I forgot to plug myself. Once again, listen to Naekwon. Listen to local artists. Go to shows. Date whoever you wanted. As long as they're not too much of a hoe with diseases or a child. This doesn't even make sense anymore. We're rambling. Let's go.
Yeah. Naekwon.com.
Naekwon.com, Carla V.
Go get that
ThinksOutLoud.com, CarlaVasquezComedy.com. Yes, see him anywhere you can. Follow, like, subscribe, share both of our stuff. We'll be here next week. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Larry. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Nos vemos.